bron, y seintiau newydd ydi pencampwyr uwch gyngrau'r Cymru.
Redmond mewn â hi at Young eto.
Pencampwyr uwch gyngrau'r Cymru ydi y seintiau newydd.
Cyfeir gydio! Wood dan i fynd i Pen-y-bont y Becker. Cyfle i groesi. Mae'n beniad, mae'n gol! Mae'n noson rhyfeddol i Pen-y-bont. Ydyn nhw'n gallu herio'r seintiau tymor yma.
Dyma'r gêm fydd pawb yn cadw llyged barcud arni penwythnos yma ar wahân i'r rygbi wrth gwrs. Y seintiau newydd yn erbyn Pen-y-bont cyntaf yn erbyn ail yn uwch gyngrau'r Cymru a'r cyfan yn fyw i chi fan hyn ar sgorio. Ie, croeso mawr ato ni, mae'n braf iawn cael eich cwmni chi prynhawn yma, mae'n braf iawn cael cwmni Owain Tudur Jones hefyd. Nawr Owain, mae wedi bod yn dipyn o frwydr rhwng y ddau dîm yma hyd yn hyn, tymor hyn. Pen-y-bont yn ennill, y seintiau newydd wedyn ni'n ennill. Ni am weld rhan 3 o'r trilogy prynhawn yma.
Edrych ymlaen yn fawr iawn, wrth gwrs, dyna tisio amser yma'r tymor gweld y ddau dîm sydd ar y brig yn mynd ben yn erbyn ei gilydd. Talcyn caled i Pen-y-bont, wrth gwrs. Ar hyn o bryd mae yna chydig bach o gap ar y top o driffwynt. Seintiau newydd i chwarae gêm yn llai. Os mae'r bwlch yna mynd yn fwy, da ni jyst yn gweld y seintiau newydd yn mynd â hi o safbwynt y gyngrair. Felly mae hon yn gêm hynod bwysig ac yn y marn i gêm ar raid i Pen-y-bont ennill.
Wel, o frig y tabl i waelod tabl uwch gyngrau'r Cymru. Mi oedd na un gêm enfawr nithor y Flint yn erbyn Aberystwyth. Y Flint yn ennill hon o 2 gol i 0. Mae Owain Aberystwyth, maen nhw mewn tipyn o drwbl erbyn hyn.
Maen nhw mewn trwbl mawr. Ac os fysa ti'n gofyn i fi, ydy drosodd ar Aberystwyth, ydyn nhw'n mynd lawr. Yn anffodus iddyn nhw, dwi yn teimlo bod nhw'n mynd lawr. Ond, a mae yna ond mawr, dwi wedi deud hynna am y 5 tymor dwytha Sioned, a maen nhw wedi cael eu hynna'n allan o drwbl. Felly mae yna hanes yna lle maen nhw'n gallu bod mewn dipyn o dwll a just ffeindio rhyw ffordd, ffeindio rhyw rediad o gema lle maen nhw'n ennill cwpl o gemau olynol. Mae rhaid i hynna ddigwydd yn fuan iawn a fydd y dyn yma'n Cobisiero jyst yn gobeithio. Drwy wynebu'r tîm sydd eu cwmpas nhw, mae gen nhw jans, so mae'n anodd. Ie,
mae yna bwysau mawr yn nhw fel chi'n gallu gweld Aberystwyth a'r waelod y gyngrair ar hyn o bryd. Y Flint nawr 6 pwynt yn glir o safleoedd y cwmp. O nôl at ein gêm ni heddi, fel o'n i'n gweud cyntaf yn erbyn ail. Triphwynt rhwng Pen-y-bont a'r seintiau newydd a nath Dylan Ebenezer cael gair gyda reolwr Pen-y-bont Rhys Griffiths yn gynharach.
Rhys, it feels like a big game. They're flying again. Does it also feel like a game you need to win as far as the title challenge goes?
Yeah, I'd say so as far as the title challenge goes. I think there's always twists and turns, isn't there? So perhaps we don't win today and still somehow, and who expected them to lose 5 games? So perhaps they go and lose next week and it all turns again. But yeah, certainly in this moment, as far as the title challenge is concerned, I'd say we need to win today, yeah.
You're having an amazing season from the outside. You've beaten them. You nearly got something here. How big is that psychologically for your team?
We've just been talking about it in there now. I think it is massive that we beat them. I think we've played them 20 times and we've gone ahead in 8 games, which is... I doubt anyone else has done that. But we haven't managed to hold on to many, well, only 1 victory and a few draws. So I think the challenge for us is, can we maintain our ability to cause them problems? And then can we, within the 90 minutes, maintain, the good starts that we tend to have? Obviously, the challenge for us today is, as always, is to have a good start.
It's no secret the amount of injuries you've had. You've lost some big players over the last few weeks. You're not in the Cups. I'm sure you're gutted about that. But will the next few weeks maybe help with that? You off to Dubai for a training camp, something like that?
We fly to Dubai tomorrow. No. Yeah, look, I don't really like to hide behind it. It is what it is. We've got to try and do something about it because we seem to have these periods in other years as well. The players that have come in have done fantastically well, and I think I've got a really strong 11 today with a good bench. But yeah, the players we've got out, I think we've got 8 players out who are not only first team starters, but the type of players that would cause TNS problems because of their physicality.
Well, Rhys, good luck today. Thanks.
Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Ie, nhw'n ni sôn am anafiadau Pen-y-bont mewn mwy o fanylder yn y man, ond Fel o'n i'n gweud, maen nhw wedi middi'r seintiau newydd yn barod tymor yma ym Pen-y-bont. Am tro cynta yn hanes y clwb, maen nhw wedi middi'r pencampwyr. Jyst yn seicolegol, pa mor enfawr mae hwnna'n mynd i fod i nhw Brynhawn?
Mae'n golygu lot wrth gwrs. Os ti di arfer colli drwy'r amser, ti'n meddwl bod y joban o wynebu'r seintiau newydd yn joban amhosib. Felly mae gwneud yn siŵr bod nhw wedi cael y fuddugoliaeth gyntaf yma mor bwysig. A ti jyst yn gweld, maen nhw angen perfformiad tebyg. Maen nhw angen prawn lle maen nhw mor gadarn yn y cefn. Dim rhoi sniff i ymosodwyr y seintiau newydd o gwbl. A wedyn ceisio manteisio ar y cyfleoedd maen nhw'n gael. A da ni'n gweld y goliau nath nhw sgorio ar y noson yma. Noson hanesyddol, croesiadau fo'n i Cwrt Cosby. Gorfodi y seintiau newydd i amddiffyn y Cwrt Cosby. Dyn nhw'n gorfod gwneud yn rhy aml. Felly, os ti'n taflu'r bêl teg at dynion fel Chris Venables, mae gen ti wastad jans. Ond ydyn nhw'n gallu gwneud hynna digon heddiw. Dyna di'r cwestiwn mawr.
Credu hwnna un o'r gemau gorau fi erioed i wneud o ran uwch gyngrair Cymru, Pen-y-bont yn middi'r seintiau. Ond fel o'n i'n gweud, cyment o anafiadau. Aelod o staff Pen-y-bont, Owain Wallow, mae fe actually'n dechrau yn yr amddiffyn heddi, sy'n jyst yn amlygu'r holl beth. Un ni nawr yn gweld y bwlch, un ni wedi bod yn gofyn, un ni'n mynd i fod yn gweld ras am y bencampwriaeth, ond unwaith mae clybiau fel Pen-y-bont yn cael cwpl o anafiadau, mae'r bwlch rhwng nhw a'r seintiau newydd, mae fe'n dod yn amlwg iawn yn gyfer.
Mae'r bwlch yna, dos o ddim cwestiwn. Da ni wedi mwynhau'r tymor yma, oherwydd mae yna ras. Mae ras wedi bod yma at y pwynt yma. Ac yn amlwg, rheswm am hynna seintiau'n chwarae yn Ewrop, mynd yn bellach na maen nhw erioed wedi wneud, a tynnu un llygedyn oddi ar y gyngrair. Ond rwan maen nhw'n dechrau tanio eto. Felly y tric ydi just dal gafal. Peidio gadael i'r bwlch na fynd yn rhy fawr, a fyddwn ni'n gobeithio fydd y ras ma'n parhau am yr wythnosa nesaf, ond yn gwynebu y seintiau newydd yma, mae'n mynd i fod yn anodd iddyn nhw.
Wel, ni wedi clywed gan un rheolwr, ni ddim yn mynd i fod yn clywed gan rheolwr y seintiau Craig Harrison, achos mae fe wedi ei wahardd. Ni'n gweld just fyna ar y ffôn, fi'n credu, ond mae aelod o staff y seintiau newydd, Chris Sargent, wedi bod yn siarad gyda Dylan.
Feels like TNS are on a roll again. Happy with the form going into this game?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's 6 in a row, is it now? Coming off the back of Europe, and we spoke a lot about it, and Craig's making no secrets about the time on the training pitch, and it's the proof's in the pudding. I suppose it's clear to see now that obviously you've got 4 days of prep work going into these games now instead of 1. So we're in good form, as you say.
A win takes you 6 clear, would take you 6 clear. Win again midweek at Carnarvon. I know it's not that straightforward, it could be 9. It feels like a big week, basically.
It is a big week, of course it is, but top 6 now, and every game's just as important as the next. I think it was important to get the Carnarvon game in as quick as we can as well. We know this is going to be a tough game and a physical game, but yeah, it was important to try and get the games together, and if we can, get some good results and pull a little bit of a gap there.
Big week, big month possibly. There's a League Cup final. There's a Welsh Cup coming up. TNS enjoy this time of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I think we go into the split a lot, and we do tend to find form and win a lot of these games. And obviously, Pen-y-bont have probably suffered a little bit with the length of the season and the squad and stuff, and coming into this period that. We're a little bit more used to it, and obviously we've got a few more bodies and stuff, but fair play to them. They're hanging on the tails, and who knows what's going to happen today, but Rhys has done some job there, fair play to them.
Brilliant, thanks very much for your time, good luck.
Cheers, lads.
Chris Sargent a'r seintiau yn barod amdani felly, Owain, y tro diwetha i'r ddau dîm gwrdd fan hyn ar neuadd y parc. Y seintiau newydd yn fuddigol o 2 gôl i 2, ond oedd hi'n bell iawn o fod yn gêm gyfforddus i'r pencampwyr.
Na, nath nhw'n neud hi'n anghyfforddus iawn yn do. A chwarae teg i Pen-y-bont, oedd hwn y cyfnod lle oedd y seintiau'n stryglu ymdopi efo chwarae'n Ewrop. Ac i fynd ar y blaen o 2 gôl i ddim yma, di hynna ddim yn digwydd yn aml. A fysa Rhys Griffiths yn edrych yn ôl yn meddwl, ai hon oedd y pnawn nath ni adael y seintiau newydd yn ôl i fewn iddi, yn lle agor chydig bach o fwlch i hunan. A ti'n gwybod, unwaith mae'r seintiau'n cael blas ar rhywbeth, a wedyn maen nhw'n cael y cyfleon a gôl yma gan Redmond reit ar y diwedd yn torri calonna Pen-y-bont, mae wastad yn mynd i fod yn anodd, ond dwi jyst yn teimlo i Pen-y-bont, os maen nhw eisiau ennill y gyngrair, mae rhaid iddyn nhw greu hanes. Nath nhw greu hanes drwy ennill gartre yn y seintiau newydd, a mae rhaid gwneud eto, mae rhaid ennill yn fama, ac ennill yn fama heddiw.
Mae'n mynd i fod yn her wahanol iawn, wrth gwrs, gwaniaeth mawr rhwng middi nhw ym Pen-y-bont i fyddi nhw fan hyn, ond os taw ti oedd Rhys Griffiths, Owain, be fydd dactegau di yma mewn i'r gêm yma?
Mae yna lot fawr o ti'n ddibynnol ar cadw siap am ddiffynol wrth gwrs, ond i Pen-y-bont ennill i gêm yma heddiw, mae rhaid iddyn nhw gael chydig bach o dan yn ei bolia. Mae rhaid iddyn nhw wneud pethau bywyd yn anghyffyrddus i'r Seintiau Newydd drwy fod reit yn ei gwyneba nhw. I allan nhw amddiffyn yn ddefn, ond wedyn pan maen nhw'n cael y cyfle i frathu efo bois fatha Clayton Green, gwneud bywyd yn anghyffyrddus. Unwaith mae'r Seintiau'n cael y rhythm na, ti'n mynd gallu stopio nhw. A wedyn cael y bel i fewn i'r cwrt cosbi na, i'r ymosodwyr mawr, gael y mosod fel yn y gêm nath nhw ennill gartra, mae gen nhw wedyn jans.
A ddim dangos gormod o barch i'r Seintiau hefyd.
Ia, dyna di'r tric de. Da ni wedi weld yn aml dros y blynyddoedd. Da ni wedi gweld y Seintiau Newydd ella'n dangos gormod o barch i clybiau'n Ewrop. A wedyn ti'n stryglo. Yn ei gwyneba nhw de, fflio fewn i ambell i dacl, ambell i gardyn melyn, peidio croesi'r ffin yna, a jyst gwneud siŵr mae'r Seintiau Newydd sydd yn cwyno wrth y dyfarnwr ac yn amlwg wedyn cymryd y cyfleoedd. Fy'n am llawer ohonyn nhw, cymryd nhw pan maen nhw'n dod.
Mae hon yn gaddo i fod yn dipyn o ornest. Dyn ni'n barod i fynd fan hyn. And your usual reminder that English language commentary is available. Owain Tudor-Jones will be keeping company to Dylan Ebenezer. Ac yn y Gymraeg, mae'n amser i ni ymuno am Malcolm Allen a Nick Parry.
Good afternoon, pnawn da. Croeso, big welcome to Park Hall, home of the champions, but they've been pushed by the visitors today. Pen-y-bont being pushed all the way, but they're back on top of the table. It's a clash between the top two. A huge afternoon as far as the title chase goes. The new Saints 3 points ahead, game in hand. You just feel if Pen-y-bont have a chance of taking them all the way. It's a big afternoon for this man's team. Rhys Griffiths walking away towards the dugout. They've beaten them this season, first time in their history. Pushed them all the way here earlier in November as well. Here the teams is simple for the new Saints. No changes from their last win against Cardiff Met. Bench looks very strong. Lots of changes for Pen-y-bont, including Mike Lewis starting in goal, his first league start for him. Owain Wallow starting for them. He's part of the coaching staff. Hasn't played for 5 years in a competitive game since before COVID, March 2020. As we see how we expect the Saints to line up. Redmond, the captain, scored the winner here back in November, 3-2 win, losing 2-0 at half-time. Pen-y-bont surprising them. But the Saints have won 6 in a row. Pen-y-bont haven't won since the split, with Chris Venables leading the line. James Crowell got 2 goals here in that 3-2 defeat, stunning the Saints in the first half. So many injuries affecting Pen-y-bont at the minute. Nothing's affecting this gentleman. Ote, Aramide Ote, 10 goals this season. He started 10, he scored 10. Joined in the summer from Walsall. Football League experience. And number 6 isn't Davis, it's Owain Wallow. Just to show the changes with Pen-y-bont. Missing some big names. Owain Wallow coming in today. You haven't even got a name on a shirt for him. They're missing players like Miles Davis, Dan Jeffries, Lewis Harling, Nathan Woods. Long-term injuries. Kirchhoff suspended today as well. And off we go. Feels like now or never for Pen-y-bont if they're going to stop the new Saints. They've been top for long chunks of this season. But it's a familiar sight by now. The new Saints back on top, winning 6 in a row. It's all very familiar, very ominous for the rest. I'm pleased to say Owain Tudor-Jones has joined me up in commentary. Afternoon, Oz.
Afternoon, Dylan.
It feels like a big afternoon as well. A big week for the new Saints. They got Carnarvon away. They could win both and be 9 points clear, or it could go the other way, of course.
Yeah, of course. Massive week. But you just sense that they are starting to tick over now. They're starting to get into the rhythm. that we're used to seeing the new Saints throughout the season. Big afternoon for Pen-y-bont. I was saying before the match in Welsh, so maybe some people didn't understand, though. I think this is a must-win for Pen-y-bont if they have title aspirations.
Oh, yeah, they go. Chance very early. Well, they were clean through. Blue shirts arriving. Could have done better. Kroll bursting through. Not going to get many chances here. That was a good one.
No, I think ultimately he'll be disappointed with that end product. You see Reffel there just asking the question, any chance of a pullback? But I think if you look at the positives early on in the game, minutes on the clock, to get one of your forward players getting in behind the new Saints back line, real positive sign for the visitors.
Rhys Griffiths has made changes. He's been forced to make a few, but he's sprung a few surprises on us as well. With Mike Lewis starting in goal. As we were saying, Owain Warlow coming in, coaching with Pen-y-bont. And there's Craig Harrison watching from afar, suspended today. Having to watch, he's making some notes. First one being tighten up at the back, probably. It looked like a handball in the middle of all that by Kroll. The young striker made an impact this season.
Yeah, I think early on you just see Chris Venables, you know, obviously with the injury problems that Pen-y-bont have had over the years. Last couple of years he's been up top as the centre forward in the box, getting on the end of things. He's just playing a deeper role.
Well, they've done it again. Reffel for Pen-y-bont started lively here, plenty back for the new Saints by now. Kane Owen whips it in, gets a corner. Good start for the visitors.
Yeah, just mentioning there, sloppy by the new Saints. Pen-y-bont will be delighted, obviously disappointed with the end product. But from a standpoint of forcing some errors, giving the opportunity for the likes of Kroll, for Venables to break his neck to get into the box, those crosses, they are going to be key for the visitors today.
Well, they've taken it quickly as well. Too quickly. Reffel losing possession. They've worked themselves into some good positions so far, Pen-y-bont, but haven't made the most of it.
Yeah, I think Reffel's maybe put somebody else's boots on early on. He's had a couple of real good opportunities to run at that back line, who are under the cosh a little bit. As I mentioned, the sloppy start, but this won't continue for the 90 minutes. These are opportunities that Pen-y-bont have to take advantage on.
Losing possession. Got it back, Clayton Green. As you'd expect, smashing it in. Not sure what to expect from Pen-y-bont today, but we're seeing some nerves from the new Saints, I think. After winning 6 in a row, 45th game of the season for the new Saints. It's incredible. It's 8 months since their first friendly, and we're only in February. They've had quite an adventure in Europe, but quite an adventure in the league this season. They lost 5, one of them against Pen-y-bont, as they slowly build. First complaint from the commentator, gold numbers on shirts. But Oti's in. Chance for the new Saints. Mike Lewis does enough. Big presence. That'll help the goalkeeper. First league start for Pen-y-bont. Saw him yesterday in Cardiff. Looking forward to the game, but didn't say a word that he was starting.
I can't believe it.
Keeps a secret as they go back to Connor Roberts. Well, we've had more or less 5 minutes. It's been lively anyway.
Yeah, plenty going on. Both teams obviously having their chances. I think the new Saints just getting into that rhythm now, just starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. But I think what's important is we see this one just falling kindly into Mike Lewis's hands. It's making sure that the visitors take advantage when the chances come. We just hear Redmond just spotting the pass in behind. Good run by Ote, just turned on a sixpence there, and Mike Lewis, I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but it doesn't matter. He's done his job there. He stood big, he stood firm, took one in the face, possibly. We just see here, maybe it was the neck. Good save.
Billy Borge back challenging, back from suspension as well. Missed last week's draw against Haverfordwest. He's back, and then Gabriel Kirkhoff is suspended as he goes back to Mike Lewis. Joined from Barry in the summer, plenty of experience. The first league start for Pen-y-bont. Interesting to see the approach from Pen-y-bont. You see so many teams just sitting back. Certainly not doing that this afternoon here at Park Hall. As the Saints try to create, Warlow's back there. We'll keep reminding you, 5 years since his last competitive game. Lovely touch by Owen to Clayton Green. Rafael. Well, Pen-y-bont looked like a team full of confidence. I did say, as Warlow loses possession. To be fair, he hasn't played for 5 years. I'm sure he's had a kick around in that time.
He's obviously impressed in training, impressed enough, because I'm sure Rhys Griffiths would have picked himself if need be.
Dangerous period of possession here for the new Saints, building, pressurising. The captain whips it in as well. Blue Waller back there. Williams seeing a bit of possession. Brobble looking for that killer pass. Back to Williams. Everybody back now for Pen-y-bont, apart from Kroll on the halfway line. So it's defensive lines staying in position, staying in shape as the new Saints probe, try and find a way through. Venables back in midfield. Brobble, Ote, Leo Smith, good tackle from Rafael, off they go. Clayton Green. It's been a great season for Pen-y-bont, fair play. They're showing some confidence here.
Yeah, really good discipline by the visitors there. There's going to be periods in this game where TNS, they dominate possession, and as you mentioned there, they were really patient, they were waiting for that gap, and Pen-y-bont, all it takes is one player just to switch off, fall out of position, and that gap will open up. Yes, they're going to be on the front foot at times, but there are going to be times where they have to defend.
Bit of uncertainty between captain and keeper. All good in the end.
Yeah, not a bad shout there. We've seen a couple of times by Redmond, who keeps things ticking over, but two opportunities to play the ball in behind Pen-y-bont's back line. And even if nothing comes of it, you see here it's a goal kick, no corner, no chance, it doesn't matter. It just forces the Pen-y-bont back line just to consider, every time Redmond's in possession, what's he going to do? Is he looking for that ball in behind? And if so, that will create opportunities for the likes of Ryan Brobble, Leo Smith, just to find a pocket of space.
Mike Lewis disappointed with his clearance, straight out for a throw-in. It's 49 games since the Saints had a draw in the league, by the way.
Oh, good start, though.
I know. What happens when it comes to the 50th? You wouldn't be surprised the way the stats land in football, if today could be the day. I'm sure Pen-y-bont would be delighted with that, even though Rhys Griffiths more or less said they need to win. If they got any hopes of the title, and the fact they've got those hopes at all, huge credit to Pen-y-bont as Pask bursts forward, finding space as well. Wilson into the box, corner.
Yeah, really well defended by Kane Owen there, but good play by Pask. He just steps in. He recognised there was no space for the midfield players to receive the ball. The gap was in front of him, so he just drove into that space, gave Wilson the ball there, and continued with his run, actually.
Leo Smith on the corner. McGay stepping up from the back. Mike Lewis under it. Does enough, but it's another corner.
Yeah, slightly uncomfortable for Lewis there.
Two starts. He's only played in the League Cup. He must be, I know he's experienced, but there must be some nerves there as well.
Yeah, you would imagine so. It doesn't matter what sort of experience you have. When you don't play regular and you come in against the champions who are top of the league this year as well, you think, oh, no pressure.
Wilson from distance, firm header, top corner. Saints have scored. As simple as that. Danny Davis again. He's having a great season in front of goal. That's his sixth for the season. It was clipped in. Lovely header. Top corner. The Saints, the champions, they're ahead.
Yeah, so disappointing for the visitors. It's one thing to concede against TNS, who will always put you under pressure, but to concede from a set piece. And Danny Davis, he's not the biggest, but he's good in the air. He's got a real good leap. but he doesn't necessarily get a run on this. You see here, there's 3 defenders around him and nobody can get close enough to him. And that will be the disappointment. You haven't conceded with somebody running a 10-yard aggressive run in the box. Standing start, Danny Davis, really clever, intelligent header. Back where it came from, and all of a sudden from a set piece, the visitors are behind.
They've won 6 in a row. Feels a bit ominous. And they're ahead thanks to the header. Lovely header by Danny Davis. As I was saying, 6 for him this season. He's doing well. Second time he scored against Pen-y-bont as well this season. He's got 9 in all competitions as well. He's having fun. But Pen-y-bont will be so disappointed. Lively start from them. They haven't won since the split. 2 games now. 0-0 against Halford West. Lost at Met. 2-1. Very, very late winner for Cardiff Met. Hughes Griffiths pointing out it was actually over the time. You mentioned that a few times, to be fair. A bit of a challenge now for Pen-y-bont, not just here, but for the rest of the season. They've done so well. So the manager must be worried that maybe the season's starting to catch up with them. Seemed a bit harsh there.
Well, do you know what? I tend to agree with Kroll. We'll have a little look at the replay, but it seemed as if he's gone in with the shoulder. We just see the goal once again here. Good quality by Wilson. Brilliant header, it must be said, by Davis. Come on. Couldn't have placed that any better. But I think in terms of the marking and getting tight enough to avoid that from happening, that's what Pen-y-bont will be focusing on.
Yeah, Kroll not happy with the decision. Going against him. Pen-y-bont need to keep going here because they've started well. Georgievski starting today. Back in the team. Oh, slight delay by the goalkeeper. Got away with it. Pen-y-bont still putting them under pressure. Ote climbing. Here they go again. Smith to Ote. Striker enjoying himself this season. Brobble. Wizard when he gets some space in the box, edge of the box anywhere really. Pen-y-bont finding some space as well. Green to Kane Owen. So much space for Clayton Green in the middle of the field. Time to find Georgievski. Pen-y-bont keeping possession. Woody Wiss. Venables. Woody Wiss again. Crowded out. Now they could be in trouble as the Saints try to strike. Wilson's fast, but Lewis is out.
Yeah, good covering there by the goalkeeper. Did what was necessary. Just stick it out of play, reset. I think things just got a little bit frantic for a couple of minutes. Pen-y-bont a little bit excitable. Clayton Green in the middle of the pack is key to any success they have. The pressure that he can put on the ball. He and Venables as a partnership in the middle of that pack. So there are times where you have to sit deep.
Oh, Redmond finding space. Brobble and Redmond. Brobble strolling around, but if he gets a chance, Davis has a chance. All looks so familiar. The new Saints keeping possession, looking for Davis. Just offside.
Yeah, good run by this man. Certainly one of the best players in the league over the last few seasons. So
well,
dependable.
He was at Connors Quay when Connors Quay were beating the new Saints, and they just went out and signed him, basically.
He's a top player. Can play in any position.
Oh, this is Owen Warlow, who's starting today. Hasn't played a competitive game for 5 years. Pen-y-bont have got so many injuries. Surely not another one.
Yeah, it'll be unfortunate, of course it will, but hey, it's not the most surprising thing, though, when you don't play for such a long time. Of course, the body just, it doesn't matter how much training you do, as soon as you're out there on the field and you've got runners popping up from everywhere, from the new Saints, of course, it just puts a different kind of stress on the body. So Hopefully he's okay, but it looks unlikely he's going to be able to carry on.
Yeah, Owen Wallow coming in today. Part of the coaching staff. He's carrying on. Thinking was that they're seeing Woodywurst as being crucial in this game. He's on the right, so they wanted somebody on the left, basically. So that's where Owen Wallow's popping up today. No huge urgency from the touchline as Rhys Griffiths gets an update. You'd be surprised if he carries on.
Yeah, it looks as if he's stretching. It does look a muscular problem. You know, if he's felt something already coming on, it'll probably cause more damage. And the New Saints, for the next couple of minutes, they will be targeting that area and think, come on, let's test this hamstring out.
Well, they got Danny Davis and Wilson down that right so far, bombing at him. 1-0, New Saints. Danny Davis with a header. It's been such a good season for Pen-y-bont. Still in second. Haverfordwest still behind them as well. They'll have to look over their shoulders. But it'd be a shame if the season just drifts away from Pen-y-bont. No, they've done well here. Jurjewski having to defend.
Yeah, I think it was interesting hearing you speak to Rhys Griffiths before the game, though. Of course, he still believes, he hopes they can win the league, but it seems as if second place is probably, realistically, what will be the main target for them.
They're out of the Cups, that's going to be interesting. Next few weeks, a lot of Cup action going on. Welsh Cup next weekend, looking forward to that. Games on Scorio. Then there's a League Cup final for the New Saints against Aberystwyth. There's Pen-y-bont. Well, they were out of both Cups in the space of a week. Months ago by now. So it won't be so busy for them over the next few weeks. I did suggest they might be off to Dubai like Arsenal, but not happening. Pino in across in front of Ote. Jurjewski, lovely from Owen. Jurjewski hasn't played much recently. He missed 22 months of football because of an injury, but he's back. There's a theme in Pen-y-bont and injuries. You just think back, first minute, they burst through, Kroll had a chance. Nothing came of it. And you think when those chances go, this is what happens.
Well, half chance, that's all it was. But those half chances against the New Saints are like full chances against any other team. There was that run by Kroll, poor final pass, and then Reffel had just a couple of half opportunities to run at the back line. Nothing came of it, and all of a sudden they find themselves one down and under pressure.
Davis again to Wilson. They're building. Redmond, the captain. From right to left, Marshall. Back to Redmond. Plenty of blue shirts back. Doesn't mean you're going to stop them. Redmond again. So much possession. Pen-y-bont just set him back. I haven't got much choice, I guess. It's such a hard situation to be in when the New Saints are doing this. But then they do that, so that'll help.
Well, I think there are times where they have to retreat. They have to defend in a low block. If you do it for the full 90 minutes, you're going to concede chances, you're going to concede goals. So you have to keep the New Saints honest by providing some kind of attacking threat. But they can't put pressure on the ball throughout. And a really good example there of keeping your shape, keeping your discipline, forcing that final pass, and then all of a sudden the ball runs out of play.
And there is a substitution coming up. It's Owen Pritchard coming on for Pen-y-bont. He's been playing a lot this season, so they're certainly not weakening the team, bringing Pritchard on. Joined in the summer from Pontypridd.
Yeah, we'll just keep an eye on things just to see in terms of the reshuffle. Will there be a reshuffle at the pack, positional-wise, for Pen-y-bont here? Obviously a miss. You never want to see any player leave early on. Just disrupts the plans that you've had all week. But that's the situation that Pen-y-bont find themselves in at the moment in terms of injuries.
And Pritchard's featured in all the games this season. He scored 6, so they're probably strengthening, if anything. Maybe they were keeping him back for other battles. Who knows what the thinking was as it reaches Mike Lewis eventually. Hearted mouth for a second. Owen, captain, forced back to Mike Lewis. Did well. A few flutters amongst the Pen-y-bont contingent, but he did well, Mike Lewis. And back we go to Connor Roberts. Clean sheet king this season, Connor Roberts in the New Saints goal. 5 clean sheets in the league, 6 in Europe, to be fair. Big game coming up later on. 6 Nations, Wales in Italy. 13 defeats in a row for the Welsh rugby team. It's been a long time. October 2023. It's nearly as long as Owen Warlow since he played.
The good old days, though. The good old days. We just see now Pen-y-bont have dropped into a 5 at the back, 4 across the middle, and Kroll just leading the line by himself. It's all important. When the opportunities come, he needs support. He can't lead that line by himself, so you need runners breaking their backs just to provide some kind of support as we see the New Saints continue with their dominance in terms of possession.
Halfway through the first half, 1-0 to the Saints. They've won 6 in a row. They're back on a roll. They're back on top of the league. And they're eyeing up another title. Ote nips in. Seems like a heavy touch. It's interesting. They've had such a long season under everything that's happened in Europe. 45th game of the season, as we're saying. Craig Harrison, he's loved his European adventure. They've lost 5 in the league, but suddenly we're talking about the treble again. Top of the league, League Cup final, last 8 of the Welsh Cup.
Yeah, the reality is in the league they can't break the record every year. You know, they've had a couple of unbelievable years. Ultimately for them, winning the league is the priority. Doesn't matter by how many points. When you reflect and you look back in 10 years' time, who won the league in that season, you don't look at the points. You look, New Saints, champions. That will be their aim. It obviously has been a historic year for other reasons in Europe, but now they are starting to tick. They're starting to find that rhythm that we used to see in them, and it looks ominous today as well.
It's interesting to see them with Ote up top, as has been for long parts of the season. Brad Young leaving last summer. Declan McManus has just left in January as well. A few goals between those two, so they look a bit different, this version of the New Saints.
Yeah, they do, and you can see that Leo Smith is thriving, enjoying himself in a more advanced position. Over the last few years, we've seen Leo Smith deeper, but as you see the role, he's the one that's closest to Ote. And when Ote drops deep and finds a pocket of space, it's Leo Smith that breaks into the box, and well, at times he is the furthest man forward for the New Saints.
So Zach Clark has come in from Carnarvon in January. Louis Phillips from Newport City in the second tier. Gwion David has come back from his loan spell at Colwyn Bay. He's not even in the squad today. The bench looks frightening. What Rhys Griffiths would give for that kind of firepower off the bench, I'm sure. As we go back to Connor Roberts. Sean Bradley not in the squad today. It's not bad. Ben Clark on the bench as well. They got so many options. Hardly any injuries as well. Must be frustrating for somebody like, well, for the rest of the league, but Gwion David coming back from Colwyn Bay. He's been banging in the goals for them. They're playing Airbus today. It's a massive game. But he's back with the New Saints and he's not even in the squad. He's hit 14 goals for the Bay this season. Good header back to Mike Lewis. Just shows the options they got.
Yeah, Craig Harrison, bit of history with Airbus. Maybe he was trying to do them a favour and think, no, you're not playing against them. But yeah, it's always frustrating, but the reality is he is a New Saints player. The New Saints as a club can do whatever they want. They can call him back. which is what they have done, but in terms of the development of the player, obviously he would rather be playing and banging in the goals regardless of the level, and he'll just be hoping to get an opportunity over the next few weeks now.
Well, there they are, they're not even in the squad. Sean Bradley, Guyon David, Astl's been injured to be fair, but he's on the way back. Sislovic there as well. They've got so many options. Guyon David is hiding behind that pillar, by the way. Players have left on loan as well in January. 3 have gone to Carnarvon. They are full-time. They've just been in Europe, filling up the coffers, the financial coffers as well. It's all looking very rosy at the minute for the new Saints. The heads here, Danny Davis after 10 minutes. Lovely looping header, top corner. No chance for Mike Lewis in the Pen-y-bont goal.
You just see out of the picture at the moment, Ote, the centre forward, the pocket, he's just dropping really deep. We tend to think of him as the main forward. He's leaving Leo Smith up top by himself at times.
They've nicked it. Here we go. Chance for Pen-y-bont. Well, there's half a chance. Just going out for a throw in. Venables sensed an opportunity there. Danny Williams stepped in.
Yeah, Danny Williams just having a word. Thinks Venables has just tried to go over the top of the ball there. Fair tackle, I think. Venables really trying to pounce there and trying to take advantage, because as things stand, Connor Roberts has had an easy 27 minutes in the TNS goal. Needs to be worked as soon as possible now.
Venables again going deep, trying to influence the game. It's a lovely ball. Can Georgievski get there first? Well, he could, but the Saints are back. Strong run as well. Brobble making his way back. OT. He's drifting as well, OT, all over the place. Not just staying in the central striker position. Still 1-0 here. Lots of action this weekend, of course. Just here, you've got to listen to this. FA Cup, Leyton Orient 1, Manchester City 0 at the minute in the FA Cup. Staggering scoreline coming in from the FA Cup. Manchester United leaving it late and being offside last night against Leicester. Not that they care. They won 2-1, so they're through. It's Welsh Cup weekend next weekend. Plenty of action here on Scorio. We'll be in the capital watching Caerleili and then big game. OT drops it back. Pouncing a run from midfield. Davis, the scorer, the full-back on the left wing at the minute. Brobble and Redmond.
I think, though, that run shows they've got a spring in their step. When you've got the right back making the run across the forward line and then picking up the ball almost as a left winger, it shows that there's a bit of free-flowing football going on at the moment. They are pushing Pen-y-bont back. They are finding these little gaps. Here they go again.
Marshall. Not many options in the middle. Leo Smith arriving. OT arriving as well. Pen-y-bont didn't quite deal with it. They're still there. Raffel's back. Down he goes. Free kick. Danger gone.
Yeah, good play by the forward player. Just working his way back there. So important that they defend as a team.
That's the Bulgaria flag, I'm reliably told. I'm not very good with quizzes. Oh, there's a few. I recognise some of them. Not many Welsh Red Dragons going on. Down in the corner. Got a bit of Scotland, a bit of England. And a bit of Wales-ish. Shetland TNS fans, Lerwick. That's quite a trip, I'm sure. You know Scotland very well from your time up there.
That's a fair few.
I bet.
Fair few miles away.
I was thinking of you this week. Always think of you anyway. Hearing Sunshine on Leith. Coldplay were doing a version of Sunshine on Leith. Not a patch on the Proclaimers. Not a patch on the Hibs fans singing it. Thousands of them. What a song.
That is one of the best anthems in club football, that is for sure.
I think it might be the best, got to be honest. Seeing the Scottish flag there reminded me of the Hibs fans. Owain, that's sometimes with Hibs. Oh, they're off again, the new Saints. Redmond, Davis through the middle. Wilson with a chance. Lovely move, just a glimpse of Billy Borge there. Back in the team for Pen-y-bont. Half an hour gone, they're having a busy afternoon already.
Big chance, but it was intelligent play in the middle of the park. We just saw Clayton Green just got ahead of the ball, just got pushed out of position. That left a big gap behind him, and all of a sudden they were in business. It's one of those, you know, you'd have to ask the striker and not me which foot you should go with. He's obviously just tried to open up his body and go with the left foot that he's more comfortable with. It's probably a split second later if he allows it just to come across his body a little bit more. Big chance. That goes in, and you struggle to see Pen-y-bont coming back. As things stand, they are still in this game, just about.
Oh, we found the Welsh flag as well. Not far from the border. I wonder if that flag is in Wales. No, we're not that close to the border. No, it's like not quite like Chester, where half the pitch is in Wales. Wilson with a chance there. He's on loan from Bradford at the minute. He did join a few seasons ago, then left again. He's back on loan now. Oh, there's something happening.
Oh,
well,
this is old school, though.
Wrestling happening. That's what's happening. They're all piling in at the middle.
Look at this.
No idea what sparked all of this. Lots to sort out. Very messy at the minute.
Oh.
Venables sorting things out. Well, trying to sort things out, or getting involved. McGay is in the middle of it. What happened there?
I thought we'd gone back to the 80s, though. I'll be completely honest. You don't like to see it, but I was enjoying it. And as soon as you see Chris Venables getting somebody in a headlock, you think, ooh, what's going on here? There's a lot to break down. I'm not entirely sure what happened. There was a big old wrestle.
It's all off the ball. A lot for Bryn Malcolm Jones to deal with. So there's the incident.
You see here.
It was McGay. I'm not sure who was with him. Was it Venables? No, not Venables.
Whoever it was stuck, though.
It's like mixed martial arts. Well, there was Borge in the middle of it. That won't be a surprise for many people. But McGay and Borge just back from suspension. He's one card away from another suspension, by the way. We'll see what happens here.
Two big boys. I don't think there was any punches thrown, anything more than a good old wrestle. Maybe one of them's got new aftershave. And the other one was interested to see what it was. I'm not sure. Yellow card.
It looks like fair. A yellow card each, and that means Billy Borge will miss the next game. That's the last thing they need. There's another card, so that's his fifth, basically. So he missed the last game after being sent off against Met. Missed the Haverfordwest game. He was one yellow away from another suspension, and there it is. And Harrison McGay joined last summer from Oldham. He hasn't featured much. He didn't really play until November because of an injury. As you said, two big lads going toe-to-toe there.
I think the best hope for Pen-y-bont is that provides a little spark. It provides just a little bit of energy. Just to put them a little bit more on the front foot, just to think, bit more fire in the belly. At the moment, a little bit passive.
Kano went, Jajewski clipped into the middle again. Half a chance. Borge actually was in there. That would have been some outcome after all of that.
Yeah, we just see here, good delivery. Good leap by Jajewski. Obviously didn't know, I think it was Marshall that had fallen to the ground, which meant it was a free header. Probably more time than he would have anticipated while he was hanging there in the air.
As Owen said, maybe it'll just spark Pen-y-bont into a reaction. So hard anyway, coming here against the New Saints.
Well, I think what happens against the New Saints, you only have those couple of minutes. So at the moment, they are on the front foot. You've probably got a couple of minutes to take advantage before the game will just revert back to the same old pattern where they will have good possession, they'll push you back. So Pen-y-bont now just have a couple of minutes probably with a couple of good set pieces, good delivery, get on the second balls. Now's the chance.
They seem to hypnotise you at times. He just stood there stunned, not doing anything, and they keep possession, and it's hard to react, and you fall back into your defensive shape, and then suddenly something sparks a reaction. Owen clips it forward. Kroll competing, but OT's back there. And now, is there a counter-attack? That's the danger. Borges back there. But well, such a competitive player, important player for Pen-y-bont. Slightly fiery, shall we say. Well, McGay was as well, to be fair, both of them. And the referee as well could have overreacted, could have been chaotic, but just sorted it out. On we go into the last 10 minutes. Still 1-0. That's the big message for Pen-y-bont as they push the New Saints back here. Jajewski putting them under pressure, playing out from the back. It's a risk. Rafael was ready to pounce. That's the chance they can create. And it's funny, who knows if this little period is connected to that scuffle, but it seems the Pen-y-bont have reacted better to it. Owen Pritchard on as a sub for Owen Volo. Jajewski. Plenty in the box here if they can deliver. Blue shirts getting there, no problem for Connor Roberts. Clayton Green on the end of it. When you see that going in and you think Venables is in there somewhere, there's always a chance.
Yeah, he reads the flight of the ball so well, doesn't he? It's a decent delivery, actually. Connor Roberts was on the front foot, did think about coming out to claim and then decided to revert back to his line and just allowed his defenders to take care of business. But Venables, once that ball's hanging in the air, always a big threat, just unable to get the perfect connection towards goal on that one.
Well, he's 39 by now, Venables. Scored the winner against the New Saints back in September. Scored his first goal against them for Jesus in 2003. Just to show how long he's been around, still firing. Now then, New Saints, well, that spins off. Mike Lewis does well. Took a little deflection from the cross. Half a chance there. Well, a clear chance, more than half a chance for Brobble. Lewis did well. It just clipped off a Pen-y-bont player. The ball was spinning everywhere. OT's nipped in behind. Wilson in the middle. Leo Smith is an option. Smith for the Saints. It goes wide. What a chance. Could have been two, should have been two.
Well, first of all, it's the pass by Brobble. You expect nothing less. Perfect weight, and it just puts Pen-y-bont's backline in big, big trouble. And as soon as OT just pulls this back, it's perfect. I know exactly what Leo Smith's trying to do. He's opened his body right up there. Just going for that far corner. He's opened up just a little bit too much. You see the ball just bending away. When that left his foot, he would have thought he's scoring. And then just the bend on it, we just see the chance. Not brilliant contact by Brobble, but still a very good save by Lewis.
Plenty going on, both sides of the pitch. Leo Smith with half a smile. Scored a few goals against Pen-y-bont over the years. Couldn't add to his total there. That was a big, big chance. And that would have probably been it. Never would say never, but 2-0 away from home against the champions. Long way back. Last 5 of the first half. New Saints building. Plenty of space again. We're going from right to left. Smith back to Marshall. Redmond. Again. 2 lines of blue for Pen-y-bont. As Marshall tries to find a way through, but he's drifted offside.
Yeah, Pen-y-bont will take their time now with this free kick just to ease things down. You see, after a good moment by them, a good couple of minutes under pressure, sometimes you get a little bit too excited, and that leaves a few gaps. That's what the New Saints are waiting for, so no surprise to see a couple of real good chances for the New Saints happening after Pen-y-bont's, well, glimmer of success, if you can call it that.
As we see Ote here, Remy Ote. 10 goals, 10 starts, it's not bad. He was signed just too late to be registered for Europe, so he's missed out on that adventure. Well, what an option again for the new Saints to have. Came from Walsall in the summer. As we see, McGay got involved in that tussle. Another one who joined in the summer from Oldham. 200 plus Football League games. Ote again, 150 plus Football League games. Serious experience and strength coming into the new Saints. And they've got that ability. They've got that ability to go out and get these players. Oh, lovely touch. Glorious by Williams. Deep in his own half. And the pass hit a heel. They'll start again. Half-time approaching. Dan Williams. Seen plenty of the ball. Redmond, the captain. And Pen-y-bont just foot off the gas for a few minutes here as they hold their shape. Concentration levels need to be massive against this new Saints team. They have lost 5 times this season, the new Saints, and that's made it very interesting for followers of this league. Wilson again challenging. Owen and Rafael watching. Back it comes, Williams again. Option for Marshall. Disappointing cross. Mike Lewis leaves it go. 5 defeats this season for the new Saints. 3 of them came in a period of 2.5 weeks. It's interesting. They're thinking, oh, here we go. What's going on here? So much going on with Europe, to be fair to them. And there's more to come. Tomorrow, join us on S4C. A big cup final. Swansea against the new Saints. That's live from Newtown tomorrow afternoon. So the women's team doing well for the new Saints as well. First cup of the season, we'll be lifting it. While Oti's off again. Jajewski came back, did well. Did well to win possession and win the free kick, to be fair.
Well, I tell you what, I think Borg just had a moment there where he considered taking Ote down, and then he just remembered, I'm on a booking here, I'd be in big trouble. So thankfully from his perspective, let him go. Jajewski dealt with it and just won the free kick. It's all about getting to the half now without conceding again for Pen-y-bont. Of course, if they can create something themselves, brilliant. Get into the half, have a little chat, a little sit down with Rhys Griffiths, run things over, a couple of little tactical tweaks if need be, but it's so important they don't concede now.
Final few minutes. Oh, can they do more than that? As they try and build. Venables looking for Rafael. Offside against Pen-y-bont. Well, usually we're preparing the trophy lift at this time of the season. The fact that we've got a title chase, credit to Pen-y-bont. But the other side of that is, if TNS weren't going to be under pressure this season of all seasons after all the European games they've got, I think we might all give up and go home. At least someone's put them under pressure this season. Yeah,
absolutely. But I think with their first experience of that European football going that late into the season, this was the year to challenge them. You just feel now they're going to strengthen again with the added money. And if they get as far... Oh, let's have a look.
Here we go again. Lovely ball. Pen-y-bont deal with it. Kane Owens out to Rafael. Lovely touch. Clayton Green. Here come the visitors. Venables is deep. Blue shirts piling forward. You just wonder, and Rhys Griffiths said before, he's not going to hide behind injuries. But on the day and at their strongest, Pen-y-bont have shown they can beat them. But when they were top, to lose Miles Davis, Dan Jeffries, Harling, Nathan Woods, all of those players and others, such a blow for a team like Pen-y-bont.
Kirkov not here, suspended. Come on, I respect the fact he's not hiding behind it, but the reality is they are severely weakened. You know, you come here with your strongest team, and of course you have a better chance of getting a result, but in fairness, they're still in this game, still battling, still competing, haven't been able to really create anything of substance. That'll be the message half-time, and of course to concede from a set piece, that will grate Rhys Griffiths, that will annoy him.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Despite the possession and domination, there's only one goal, and it came from a set piece. Danny Davis header. They've been disciplined, they've defended well. Leo Smith had a glorious opportunity to make it 2. Can they create another opportunity late in this first half? Here's Danny Redmond. Out to Jordan Marshall. Redmond again. Checking the clock. Pen-y-bont shut the door. Borges. Georgievski will clear. Still got a few seconds left here. But Crowler's done well. Battling. Well, no free kick. Not sure about that decision. Got to be fair as Venables steps in. A few of the Pen-y-bont players asking the question to the referee.
I thought it was a free kick, to be honest. Kroll's not complaining, so maybe he knows that he went down a little bit too easily after good hold-up play.
It's the top 2 going head-to-head. The new Saints on top at the minute. There's only one goal in it as we approach half-time. Pen-y-bont have beaten them once this season for the first time in their history. Saints hit back in November here, 3-2. But it was 2-0 to Pen-y-bont. Saints winning late, and they're winning here at half-time. 1-0. Danny Davis, lovely header. His 6th of the season. He's having a storming season. And so are Pen-y-bont, to be fair, but they're behind at the minute. Can they hit back? What's to come in this second half? At half-time, New Saints ahead 1-0.
Diolch yn fawr, Nick. Ie, gol Danny Davis yw'r gwahaniaeth ar hyn o bryd. Newn ni ddadansoddi'r cyfan yng Nghymru Owain Tudur-Jones yn y man. Ond yn gyntaf, y fori fe fydd tlws cynta'r tymor yn cael ei ennill pan fydd Abertawe a'r Seintiau Newydd yn mynd ben-ben yn rownd derfynol tlws yr adran. Fe ath criw sgorio i ddalan gyda'r Seintiau cyn y gêm fawr.
I think the position we've found ourselves has probably shocked quite a few people because last year we was in the bottom 4, so we was really disappointed and we knew we had to be better than that, and we've absolutely done that, and I think it has come to a shock for some people, but not for us. We knew what we were capable of at the start of the season, and I feel like we're showing that week in, week out. The players they've brought in and the way they've made us gel within pre-season, I think it's really helped, and I think that's shifted our mindsets to be a lot more positive, and I think that's probably had a massive impact on how well we're playing.
The club has become semi-professional this season. I feel like that's a big step for the club, and yeah, it's a big step in women's football. This club has got great backing, got great owners, and they want us to do well, which is always a positive. Every player is on board here and they know the vision and where we want to go, and everyone's on the same page. I've always said from the start I want to win the league. I haven't come here to just to pot about in the league. Yeah, I really want to push on and get some silverware.
Maria Francis Jones ar y dde. Francis Jones yn mynd I hun ac yn taro'r trawst.
We're a new team, but I feel like we don't look like it. I feel like we look like we've been playing together for years.
Mae'r season so far di mynd yn dda iawn. Da ni probably I bob arall di wneud yn well nag oedden ni meddwl byddwn ni. Dwi'n meddwl just yn cael sgwrsia efo genod oedd yma cynt, fatha underdogs, falle byddwn ni di bod ar gyfer lot o gema, a da ni di, wel, da ni deffri di profi, da ni yma I roed statement bach i'r league I gyd.
This season is not like any other season. You've got clubs that have really stepped up their game, and it's exciting to be in. The last couple of seasons it's very been between Swansea and Cardiff City, but you've got loads of teams competing to be in top 4 or for the relegation zone, so it's a very exciting league to be in this season.
Fath y tîm, da ni yn edrych ymlaen at y cup final yn erbyn Abertawe. Obviously, hanes di cael ei creu yn barod, fel bod ni yn y final anyway, ond da ni eisiau creu mwy. Fath y tîm, da ni really determined I dangos be da ni'n gallu wneud.
Swansea are a really strong team. I feel like there's a few players we'll probably be keeping an eye on, but as a whole, they're a very well put together team, and we know it's going to be difficult, but we know what we need to do, and we're ready and we're excited.
I want all our teammates to remember that if we believe in, we can do it, and not to get our heads down if something goes wrong.
We've beaten them twice this season. The game isn't going to be like the games that we've played them this season. They'll come out fighting and they'll want revenge on us, but we'll also be fighting as we've never won a trophy before. So it will be a very competitive, good game, I think.
We've never reached a final as a team, so to win it would just be incredible, and we're so excited, but we're just proud of ourselves to get into the final. To win it would be amazing.
Ond mae tîm dynion y Seintiau wedi domineddu y gyngrair yma am flynyddoedd. Mor braf gweld y menywod yn creu argraff yn y brif adran, ac mae'r cyfan yn fyw fori Abertawe yn erbyn y Seintiau Newydd. Rownd derfynol tlws adran Genero am gwarter wedi 5 yn fyw ar S4C. OK, ni nôl, mae Owain Jones wedi ail ymuno a fi. Owain, dy argraffiadau di o'r hanner cynta yna?
Dim syndod o beth da ni wedi weld. Pen-y-bont ffeind yn anodd ar y degau i achosi unrhyw fath o broblemau yn ymosodol. Maen nhw wedi cadw siap ar y dega'n dda. Dwi'n meddwl y siom fwyaf iddyn nhw ydy maen nhw wedi brwydro'n galad, ond i ildio unig gol y gêm hyd yn hyn o set piece, o gig gornel, gafodd i chymryd yn fer, mor siomedig. Mae hynna'n rhwystredig dros ben i unrhyw reolwr. Dyna fydd yn siomi Rhys Griffiths, ond mae gennym fo gyfle rwan i gael gair efo chwaraewyr, neu'n siŵr bod o'n digwydd eto. A hefyd, os ti'n gweld rhywun yn sgorio drwy redeg 10 llaeth yn bwrpasol, efo rhediad nerthol, a maen nhw'n hongian yn yr awyr am sbel, oce. Ond mae Danny Davies yn llonydd yma. A dyna fydd yn siomi, mae yna 3 amddiffynwr, just ddim cweit yn gallu chyrraedd hi, ond o safbwynt Danny Davies, mae hwnna'n beniad da, amhosib i warbed i, felly, fydd hynna'n siom o safbwynt Pen-y-bont, fydden nhw jyst yn gobeithio trio creu cwpl o gyfleoedd i hunan yn yr ail hanner.
Siom o safbwynt Pen-y-bont. O ran y Seintiau siom, bod nhw heb sgorio mwy nac 1 gol, achos maen nhw wedi cael y cyfleon, fel ni am weld.
Yndi, maen nhw wedi cael eu cyfleon. Fel dwi'n sôn, Pen-y-bont di amddiffyn yn dda ar y degau, cadw siap, ond mae yna gyfleon di dod. Mike Lewis di gorfod gwneud yn dda, a ti'n sbio ar y cyfle yma. Gafodd ei greu gan Brobl yn ganol cae, efo symudiad clyfar, pas dda, ddeallus, pwysa'n gret, a'r croesiad yn dda hefyd. Wilson just ddim cweit yn gadael i'r bêl ddod ar draws i gorff digon, a rhywbeth tebyg yn fama, neu yn groes o rhywbeth.
Hwna'n gyfle fawr gan Leo Smith.
Mae Leo Smith, pa ma o'n yn gadael i droed o, mae mofod wedi sgorio. A ti just yn gweld ti, just yn crymanu'n symud i ffwrdd o'r gol. Mae di agor i gorff i fyny twtch bach yn ormodol, ond agos dros ben. A mae nhw wastad yn mynd i greu cyfleoedd. Ti angen reidio dy lwc ar y degau pan ti'n dod yma, ond fel dwi'n sôn, os ti'n mynd creu dim byd y hun, ti byth yn mynd i ennill i gêm.
Ti'n efo sôn am Mike Lewis, golwr Pen-y-bont. Adam Prysbeck ddim yma heddi, mae fe'n dost o be i ni'n deall, ond Mike Lewis, Owain, wedi wneud yn dda, a wedi wneud arbediadau da iawn.
Be di'r term da? By hook o by crook. Dim ond sut ti'n stopio nhw. Mae di gwneud i swydd yn fama. Dwi'n meddwl efo wddw neu wynab, just cadw hyn yn fawr, chwarae teg iddo fo. Dim yn hawdd dod i fewn i'r tîm. Ddim di chwarae llawer o bêl-droed tymor yma, a dod i fewn yn erbyn y pencampwyr, ond mae di gwneud yn iawn, dim problem. Ti'n gweld y fama, Brobl ddim yn cael y cysylltiad gorau yn y byd efo droed chwith, ond dal i fod. Lewis yn y fan ar lle, gwneud i hyn yn fawr, aros dal i dir, arbediad da iawn ganddo fo.
Wel, mae yna lwyth o chwaraeon ar S4C Prynhawn. Mae yna bêl-drod byw fan hyn, y rygbi mas yn yr Eidal i ddod wrth gwrs, a hefyd bach o MMA, apparently, fan hyn, yn y Seintiau Newydd. Owain, be nesti o'r, be oedd yn mynd fan hyn?
Reit, os dwi'n cymryd y lein broffesiynol, da ni'n licio gweld hyn. Plant yn gwylio hyn o'r llall, peidiwch o gwneud. Ond, lein bersonol nes i'n joio hyn, Sioned, o hyn fatha rhyw throwback nôl i'r 80au, a ti'n gweld y fama Chris Venables, y tad o'r grŵp, just yr headlock bach yn deud, oi, cadw dy ddwylo oddi ar y met i, boi. Ac o be dwi'n glywed, rhywbeth tebyg di digwydd blynyddoedd yn ôl, Malcolm Allen yn ei chanol i, yn hybrid, dwi'n meddwl. Nath o ddechrau rhyw ruck enfawr. So Malc sy'n gwneud hynna dyddiau yma, mae'n bihafio wrth gwrs, ond fatha mynd yn ôl i'r hen ddyddiau. Nes i'n joio yna.
Ond just, be ti'n credu yn seicolegol mae hwnna'n gweud am Pen-y-bont, dydyn nhw'n, dechrau, mynd bach yn...
O'n i'n sôn yn y swybaeth Saesneg efo Dyl, eich oedden nhw angen rhywbeth, oherwydd oedden nhw chydig bach yn pasif.
Ti'n gweud bod ti'n moyn i nhw fynd amdani?
Wel, mynd amdani, mae yna gyfnodau lle mae rhaid chdi fynd ar y droed flaen, mae rhaid chdi drio upsetio Seintiau Newydd, felly weithiau mae rhyw ddigwyddiad bach fel yn gallu upsetio, cael nhw allan o'i rhythm, a fydd angen chydig bach, eich ddim cweit mor extreme a hynna, gymaint o reslo, ond dal i gael y tân yn ei bolia yn yr ail hanner a gobeithio na nhw greu rhywbeth.
Wel, Owain, ni am gymryd hoi bach nawr, achos ti wedi cael y job pwysig wythnos yma o ddewis enillydd gôl y mis. A ni am weld e nawr.
Masyn yn gyrchol o Phillips di cefnir yn ddiffyn Phillips codi dros ben y golwr I gefn yr 8. Hwna'n gol wych gan y Flint a Jake Phillips.
He Watts, mlaen tuag at Owain Jones. Sotliad hyfryd. Max Ben-Arman. Nôl at Owain Jones yn y cwrt Cosby. Owain Jones ar dryden I Holford. Jacob Owen yn gleirio. Owain Jones yn cael blaen I droed iddi. Ben-Arman yn curo Lewis Bates. Mewn i'r cwrt Cosby o Ben-Arman yn mynd. Rownd y golwr mae'n bimed. Mae'n glawi o golau fan hyn yn Holford.
Eason, ochr o'r newydd. Mewn i'r canol. Cael ei roli dda gan Danny Williams. Oddi ar ei brest am gol.
Mendes yn sgwared.
Buck a Buck I gefn y rwyd a dyna ni siawt. Dim gobaith i'r golwr.
Seintia wedi cipio'r bel mewn lle peryglus. Tier yn mynd I hun o belltar a Tier wedi rhoi y Seintia ar y blaen yn barod.
Ie, ni wastad yn cael ein sbwylio gyda safon y goliau fan hyn ar sgorio, ond Owain, pwy I ti di dewis ar gyfer gol y mis?
Reit, yn eich gol y mis I fi, Ben-Arman. Chydig bach o wahanol, ond ni'n teimlo bod yna un gol absolute belter o bellter os rhywbeth. Ond i'n licio on, chydig bach o wahanol. Symudiad bach neis, da, y cyffyrddiad yma, dyna pam ydi ennill chi. Cyffyrddiad rownd yr amddiffynwr. A wedyn, ti'n be, dwi wastad yn licio gweld ymysodwr yn mynd rownd y gol geidwad. Mynd â fi nôl I ddyddiau Ronaldo, y gwreiddiol, y ffino, mos licio di. Felly, y cyffyrddiad I fynd rownd yr amddiffynwr, hyfryd, a wedyn rownd y gol geidwad. Ben-Arman.
Wel, llon gyfyrchiadau mawr I ti, Ben. Reit, Owain, diolch yn fawr am dy gwmni di. Fi'n mynd I adael I ti, fynd lan. Sori, i'r pwynt sylweddi I gadw cwmni I Dylan Ebenezer. Ond cofiwch, allwch chi weld holl uchafbwyntiau'r penwythnos ar ein rhaglen uchafbwyntiau sgorio, nos lun gyda fi a gweddill y crew ac eto nos fawrth am hanner ar wedi 6 ar S4C. Okay, mae fel musical chairs fan hyn pnawn yma. Josh Daniels, hello! Thank you so much for coming to join us. Out injured at the moment. We'll talk a bit about that in a bit. But first of all, your impressions of that first half?
I think started off both were a bit nervous at the start, but I thought we Redo and especially Dan Williams in midfield, we controlled it a bit. Grew into the game and obviously missed a couple of big chances as well, which we'll be disappointed about, but falling into the sort of fighting side of things and set play, so hopefully we can get our own game back on track here.
Yeah, we've been spoiled this season in terms of the rivalry that's developed between you and Pen-y-bont. They've pushed you so much this season. Obviously, they got that win. You got payback then in the game here. What's it been like coming up against them and having them sort of breathing down your necks this season?
It's good, to be honest. It keeps us on our toes. Obviously, we've been trailing most of the season, which is unlike none of us has really experienced that. So I just think, obviously, with Europe and being over and stuff now, I think it's nice to sort of focus on the league again. And credit to them, they've been obviously very good as well. So I think we just need to look after ourselves now and just go out and try and win as much games as possible.
You've just mentioned Europe. I've got to ask you about it because it's been a historical season for TNS playing in the Conference League. Just tell us a bit about the journey, what it was like, and I guess what you've learned as a squad and how you've grown because of the experience.
Yeah, I think, obviously that's what we want to achieve. We want to try and play at the highest sort of level we can, and it's been an ambition of the clubs for a long time, so it was nice to get there eventually. The experience was amazing. You're playing against different teams, different cultures. It was a great experience all around, but like I say, it doesn't last forever, and this is our bread and butter at the end of the day. So it was lovely to go out there and play all them big games, but we just have to try and win this league and whatever trophies is left now.
And of course a Welsh Cup game to come next week as well, still in all competitions. Just how determined are you to do what TNS always do best and win everything?
Yeah, well, it would be nice to get a treble, to be honest. It's still on the cards, like you said, so just like I say, try and win this league. Obviously Pen-y-bont's right down our necks, and I think a treble would be amazing. After last year as well, it would be very good to sort of get the 3. I know we missed out last year, but yeah, it would be right up there.
And a cup final against Aberystwyth to come as well, the League Cup final. Big question, will you be fit for that? Are we going to see you on the pitch, Josh?
No, unfortunately. I think that's probably me out for the rest of the season.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I'm booked on for an operation next Friday on my ankle. It's been sort of playing, it's been on my mind, and it's probably the last year and a half, to be honest. So I've played through Europe and stuff with it, so just got a scan, when I was playing in Europe, and I needed a bit of a clean up and a bit of reconstruction of my ligaments. So I'm booked on now next Friday. So I think for me now it's probably even to be back for off season in Europe again, which isn't ideal, but for me to get back playing at my best, which I haven't been probably in 2 years, you know what, it's what I need to focus on now.
Well, best of luck with the operation and with the rehab, Josh. Just quickly, second half about to start. What are you expecting? What do TNS need to do just to make sure that they get those 3 points?
I think it's just make sure we stay tight when they're breaking on us, and take our chances. I think we had a couple in the first half that the boys they'll be fuming they missed, to be honest, knowing them well. So, and try and not give away too many set plays, because I think with Kane Owen on the ball, he's deadly at set plays. So just trying to keep it tight and keep on the ball in possession.
Well, Josh, really appreciate your time coming to talk with us, and best of luck with the injury and the recovery as well. Fel I chi'n gallu gweld, mae'r tîmodd yn barod I fynd fan hyn ar neuadd y parc ar gyfer yr ail hanner. Felly newn ni ail ymuno a'n tîm sylwebu ni Malcolm Allen a Nick Parry.
Here we go again, ready for the second half. Pen-y-bont behind 1-0 against the new Saints champions. Kane Owen getting ready. It's been a tough afternoon so far for Pen-y-bont, but it's been a top season for Rhys Griffiths' team as he makes his way back towards the dugout. They've been building gradually at Pen-y-bont, and this season they've hit some heights. They've beaten the new Saints for the first time ever. Only just lost here, 3-2. Great game back in November. 2-0 up, lost 3-2. This man's goal, late winner, winning the game for the new Saints 3-2. But since then, European distraction has gone for the new Saints. Injuries have hit Pen-y-bont, and here we have it. After the split, the Saints are back on top, and on top here. From a goal to 0. Can Pen-y-bont stop the run? They've won 6 in a row. They're going for the magnificent 7, and the visitors would love to change that. 3 points is the gap between first and second. The new Saints have a game in hand. They're off to Carnarvon midweek. That is the game in hand. Off to the Oval. Carnarvon have beaten them this season as well. Just feels at the minute that maybe those defeats seem in the past, as Pen-y-bont tried to strike at the start of this second half. They had a chance right at the start of the first half as well. Rafael back to Owen. Heavy touch, out it goes. Clayton Green. Is there a way back here, Owen?
Oh, there's definitely a way back. I think it's about taking advantage of those half chances when they do come. I think a couple of ways. If you have a look at the first half, how Pen-y-bont, how can they score? Well, I think one is taking advantage of any lapses in concentration in the back line for the new Saints, and the second one, you've got to get the ball in the box. Crosses in the box.
Well, Redmond's smiling. He's smiling because he didn't get booked, I think. Let's see this one again. That's surely a foul. Well, it's a foul. Yellow card?
He is a bit of a silent assassin, Danny Redmond. He's late. I think the touch just veers away from him, and he's already on a rampage, if you like, eyeing up the player.
Scored the winner against Pen-y-bont earlier in the season. Green on again. Venables in the box. There's a chance. Is it landing? Kindly. No is the answer. And now they need to defend. Ote. Plenty back already for Pen-y-bont, to be fair. And again, promising start to the second half by the visitors.
Yeah, Ryan Brobble is just shouting at Ote, saying any chance of looking left, because he broke his back to make that run. Ryan Brobble. Ote, real good play, carrying the ball, but unfortunately from a TNS standpoint did not look the other way. Brobble would have been in on goal.
We've got, we're on the gantry here commentating Welsh language colleagues to the side of us, Nick Farry and Malcolm Allen. I think I just heard Malcolm saying that OT, his nose is running faster when he had the ball there. Sounds like a Malcolm comment, I've got to be honest. I think he was just keeping possession to his team, quietening things down as Pen-y-bont go back to Mike Lewis. So Mike Lewis starting a league game for the first time since joining Pen-y-bont last summer from Barry. He's played a couple of League Cup games and that's it. So Prisbeck not in the squad today. Mike Lewis starting. He also started with Owain Wallow and he was playing his first game for 5 years. Part of the coaching staff. Just shows how injuries have knocked Pen-y-bont. Wallow's had to go off with an injury, ironically. As the scorer, Danny Davis. Pushing up for the Saints. Brobel against Georgievski. There's two skillful players, but Brobel loses out in the end. Georgievski gets a touch. He's not happy. He looked a clear throw in for the new Saints. Brobel wanted more. Fancied a free kick. Plenty of possession for the new Saints in that first half, but only one goal to show for it. Leo Smith dinking it across towards Wilson. Redmond probing again, keeping possession. Said in the first half, feels like the opposition are hypnotised at times, having to deal with this. Saints keeping possession, they go left, they go right. We've seen it over the years. Maybe we haven't seen it as much this season, but they're back in that rhythm at the minute, winning 6 in a row, and they'll go all the way back to Connor Roberts. Don't see that often, I guess.
Yeah, they're just trying to entice Pen-y-bont out of their positions just to see if they can open any gaps up all afternoon. Danny Williams, seen plenty of the ball. Danny Redmond also.
Mike Lewis came out. Well, didn't gather. They've done well to deal with it. Clayton Green under pressure. Rafael also under serious pressure from Dan Williams. There's a player still down, it's Danny Davis. After the shot at the minute, he's still down, waiting for treatment.
Yeah, Davis is down. Wilson is struggling a little bit as well. A couple of the new Saints players. See this crossfield pass by Williams here, good ball. Lewis comes out, does enough, gets his hands on the ball, doesn't quite claim. But the goalkeeper did enough there just to avoid any chance. And you just see here, Davis will be disappointed because he had the opportunity to get a little touch past Mike Lewis before the ball reached the goalkeeper. Just missed it and then couldn't avoid that collision then.
Some treatment for Davis. New Saints winning 6 in a row, as we've said. Pen-y-bont, on the other hand, haven't won since the split. 2 games, it's only 2 games, 0-0 against Haverfordwest. Haverfordwest in third, such a strong season for them as well. They lost at Met. Cardiff Met really are the nemesis this season. They haven't won against Met. 2 draws and a defeat. One of the defeats coming in the Cup, in the Welsh Cup. They've only lost 3 games this season, Pen-y-bont. That's the least amount of defeats for any team in the league. They only lost 1 of the first 16 games. And bizarrely, no offence to Britton Ferry, that was against Britton Ferry at the time, who were bottom at the time. They're second in the scoring charts, second as well as conceding goes. Pen-y-bont, they're having a great season, but even a great season might not be enough to finish above the new Saints as Wilson bursts into the box. Plenty of blue shirts back, Rafael being one of them. There's so many positives owing from Pen-y-bont's season. Would it still be disappointing? I don't want to say just finishing second, but after everything that's happened, would it be a disappointment?
No, I don't think so. I think if they finish second, you know, it's progress for them as a club. Once again, they'll learn from that experience, think, can we run them even closer? But of course, they'll still feel they're in the title race at the moment. But second place, however that comes by, would be a very successful season for them.
Okay, Owen sliding in. There's no Europe for second spot this season, only 3 places. So they'll probably be supporting the new Saints in the Welsh Cup. If they do the double, then the second place team should go into Europe. Amidst all the talk of inviting the 4 big boys that play in England into the League Cup and giving that a European spot. You understood the idea behind it. You also felt a bit sorry for the domestic clubs. Wilson now for the new Saints. Skips away. Problems here for Pen-y-bont! All the way through. Ote celebrating. Not sure who got the touch. But what is definite is that it's 2-0. A messy goal to concede. Wilson creating. Ote smiling. We'll sort it all out in the end, but it's 2-0.
Yeah, it was just that one pass, and then Wilson on his left foot. He's looked dangerous all afternoon, actually. Always looking to come in on the left-hand side. Kane Owen just sold himself a bit short, and it's just at the near post there, just trying to leap. It was almost a diving header, if you like, from Ben Morgan. Didn't get anything on it. Everybody expected him to make contact, to be able to clear. You can see Mike Lewis there. Just as soon as that goes in, he turns around to his defender and says, could you have got there? Could you have got a touch? Obviously, stretching himself a little bit too thin, or has he allowed it to go past him, thinking that there wouldn't be a forward play? And this man is thinking happy days. Little tap in, mountain to climb now for Pen-y-bont.
2-0. Ote, top scorer in the league. That's his 11th of the season in the Cymru Prem. They scored after 10 minutes in the first half. They've scored after 9 minutes in the second half. And it's going to be a long second half for Pen-y-bont now.
Yeah, I just wonder if Morgan, was he unable to get there, or is he thinking, I might concede an own goal here, I'm at a stretch? So has he just pulled back from that diving header, and it's just created too much of a gap then in behind him? But I will say, different kettle of fish, of course. But of course, the new Saints were behind by 2-0 against Pen-y-bont here last time. It's going to take a bit of a miracle for a comeback to happen again today.
Well, there might be 3 here. Ote creating again, and the Saints causing problems. Pen-y-bont will clear. Morgan clearing. One of the new guys coming in January. Morgan, Mark Little's returned. Keane Watts has returned to the club as well. He's on the bench today. Been banging in the goals this season for Goitre. Might be an option coming off the bench, but it's 2 and Wilson fancies another one. Plenty back. Well, 1-0, you just thought there might be a chance. 2-0. It feels very unlikely now. You never know. As we have a look at the table, that's how it stands. 6 points is the gap. The new Saints heading to the Oval, to Carnarvon midweek. It could be 9 points. And that would be very, very significant, with about 7 games to go after that.
Yeah, this man's ran the show today. Redmond and Williams. Craig Harrison will be delighted with all his team, of course, in this big game. But the 2 centre midfielders, Pen-y-bont have obviously decided to go with just 2 holders in Venables and Green. And that's just meant the time and space that Williams and Redmond have had to dictate play. Nobody able to get close to them. It's been a nice, easy afternoon for those 2 in the middle of the pack.
Well, Mike Lewis is receiving treatment now. Well, that would be typical of the way things are going for Pen-y-bont at the minute. Craig Harrison, just watching. Mentioning the Welsh Cup next week, FA Cup this. It's still Man City still losing at Leyton Orient, by the way. They're into the second half, not long gone in the second half. Leyton Orient 1, Manchester City 0. And Leeds, after absolutely smashing Cardiff City last week, they're losing at home to Millwall. Leeds-Millwall, there's a game that conjures up all sorts of memories. But it's 2-0 Millwall at Elland Road. Big shock that in the FA Cup. Not as big as Leyton Orient beating Man City. Surely it's not going to finish like that, he says. When are they going to start saying Pep out?
Well, I think he's done enough over the last few years to have an off season.
He hasn't done too badly, has he, to be fair. And Mike Lewis is up after receiving treatment. 2-0 here. What could be significant is Haverfordwest in third. We'll be watching thinking, hang on, that fight isn't over either. Especially the way Pen-y-bont are struggling with a few injuries. Haverfordwest having another good season. Pritchard there for the visitors. Here comes the yellow card. It's Williams this time.
Yeah, he can protest, but that is a definitely yellow card because he knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, he's got a little angel baby face. He knows that pull of the shirt there stops any sort of runs towards his backline. A good foul from a New Saints standpoint, and fully deserves that yellow card.
Williams came initially on loan from Swansea. Now here full time. Connor Roberts looking for another clean sheet. Hasn't been threatened much this afternoon, I should say. Owens over the ball. Kane, Owen and Owen Pritchard over the ball. Venables spins away. That's who they're looking for. It's a race between Ote and Venables. Ote gets there first. Oh, did well. The striker. Lovely play. Smith as well. Oh, Ote let it run. Nearly worked.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Pen-y-bont. Good play by the New Saints, just trying to break away there. Set pieces that few and far between. It was just a little bit straight, a little bit too central for Kane Owen to be able to work his magic there.
(2-0) here. In the other games today, we've got Haverfordwest to a third away at the Oval in Carnarvon. Cardiff Met home to Bala, so competitive in the top six. Looks like the New Saints probably going to maybe not run away with it, but they're strolling, shall we say, on the verge of the 7th consecutive victory. Pen-y-bont have got a bit of a buffer between them and Haverfordwest. 7 points as it stands. And down in the bottom, Newton are playing Barry, Connors Key, Britton Ferry, Flint beating Aberystwyth last night. Aberystwyth in deep, deep trouble. Half an hour to go here. And barring a remarkable, ridiculous turnaround, looks like the 3 points are in the bag for the New Saints. So they're the ones dominating. OT getting a touch as well. Wilson. You're just seeing guys like Jodjewski and Venables being forced all the way back, helping the defence out. Which is fine when it's 0-0, but when you're losing 2-0, it's hard to get any attacking threat. Wilson, on the other hand, has looked lively, as you'd expect. Williams, Redmond are enjoying themselves now. 45th competitive game of the season for the New Saints, and Wilson goes down. Clayton Green, he doesn't argue too much. That says a lot.
No, they look menacing actually, the New Saints now. They look like they're enjoying themselves. Good slick football, shifting a ball one side to the other, always looking for that little pocket of space. Wilson, he's been on the right, he's been on the left, receives the ball centrally there. Real sharp turn, real intelligent play, knows exactly where Green is, turns the opposite side. Foul. What a position this is now to put the game to bed.
Who fancies it? Everybody. Mike Lewis having to watch. Brobbles over this one. We've seen him stick a few away from this position.
Well, he has the quality to go either side. I would not be surprised if he goes goalkeeper side on this one. Whichever way Lewis has lined up his wall, we'll have a look. Brobble will just maybe be tempted to think if the goalkeeper gambles one way, he's going to go that side.
Seems to be a big gap. Brobble seen the gap, top corner, called it, saw it, finished it beautifully. It's 3-0. Ryan Brobble. It looked like a big old gap to the side of Mike Lewis.
And Brobble took full advantage. His third of the season. Lovely finish. And surely it is finished. It's 3-0.
Yeah, he just has this quality. He actually doesn't go the goalkeeper side. He goes the opposite to what I predicted. He just has that quality. Not many people do. You often hear people talk about, it's a little bit too close. You can't quite get it up and down with enough pace. He's got a bit of everything there. Is it right in the corner? Could Lewis have got a hand onto it? Obviously, it's perfectly placed. Brilliant by Brobble. Not the first time we've seen that. Certainly won't be the last either.
He's a lovely player to watch, Ryan Brobble. In his 30s by now. He's had some injuries as well, but put him in that position. And that's what happens. I knew I was turning to Owain before that. He did call it. You just sensed a few players were around it. Redmond was there. Leo Smith had a look. You just thought, it's going to be Brobble, isn't it?
Yeah, you just know with that quality, even open play. Even from open play, when he gets the ball, that right foot, it's so dangerous. He can whip it, he can strike it, but he just whips it with so much quality, so much placement.
Oh, they've broken the flag. What a blow for the New Saints. Oh, he kicked it. That's why they've broken the flag. That's a foul on the flag, surely. It looks like a new flag as well.
That is coming out of his wages, let me tell you.
And they made a fair few quids in Europe. Mike Harris, the owner, will still be gutted having to pay for a new flag. Oh, this comfortable. They've won 6 in a row. It's about to be 7. Just strolling at the minute. Big month coming up for them, and you'd fancy them to just go from strength to strength. Off to Carnarvon, off to the Oval midweek. Then they turn their sights towards the Welsh Cup. They got Airbus at home, then Bala away in the league before playing a League Cup final against Aberystwyth. And that'll be February, done and dusted. The shortest month, but it's a big one for the New Saints. Pen-y-bont, on the other hand, no distractions in the Cup. So really, they've only got one more game this month, and that's Carnarvon away, so a chance to regroup and just make sure they're ready for the last few games. Hold on to that second place spot. Oh, they're off here. Leo Smith. Well, disappointing pass in the end by Smith.
You can tell he's enjoying himself though, Leo Smith. He came to the New Saints, scored a good few goals in Europe, didn't he? He was playing slightly more advanced. That was his style of play, and then slowly but surely worked his way back, and he was the deep liar, the holding midfield player, getting things ticking over. But you can see he's enjoying a slightly more advanced role.
Roberts under slight pressure. They play it out. Don't want to take too many risks. Sure, Craig Harrison wants to keep that clean sheet. Connor Roberts wants another clean sheet. Pen-y-bont, a slight chance here. Jajewski putting on the pressure, but they've played it out. And off they go and switch it, looking for Ote. Lewis is out. Man City have scored, by the way. It was bound to happen. Kusanov with the goal. 10 minutes into the second half. Leyton Orient 1, Manchester City 1. Can't even. It seems surprising just to say the scoreline, but they were losing there, Manchester City. It's now all square. They won't care what happens if they get through, like their neighbours Man United last night. Brobble, scorer of the third to Williams. So comfortable now. Last 25 minutes is going to be a procession. A few subs coming up from both teams, we think. So much room for Brobble. He's fed it to Redmond for the fourth. Wide of the post. Huge chance to make it 4-0. Did Mike Lewis get a touch? I think he did.
It's a ridiculous pass, it must be said. He had one in the first half, Brobble. Perfect weight. Have a look at this now. Come on. Eye of the needle stuff, and Redmond will be gutted. Yes, there is a touch by Lewis, but still the captain will feel I should score there, should be off celebrating. It's a really good save, another one by Lewis in fairness, but what a pass. The gap was big between centre halves, it must be said, but still you have to execute, and that's exactly what Brobble did.
Should have scored, but the final angle showed it clearly. Lovely touch by the goalkeepers. Marshall goes off, so Jordan Marshall leaving. Ben Clark coming on. Look at the strength of the subs now, is just going to be ridiculous. As Clark comes on, came through the academy. Ben Clark, great to see that. So Marshall leaving, corner for the Saints. More pressure on Pen-y-bont, over it goes. Yeah, the bench looks so strong right now for the new Saints.
Well, I think if you're Pen-y-bont, you're 3-0 down, away from home, plenty of injuries, you're thinking, OK, this game is over. You're hoping TNS just take their foot off the gas, and then you see someone like Clark coming on, who is so energetic, doesn't stop running, doesn't stop closing down, always looking for that third man run into the box to get a goal himself, and you think, oh, give us a break, guys.
He's hit the few, actually. You look at his stats. So he's played 150 games in the Cymru Prem, 43 goals, Clark. Such a strong player, and the Saints are so strong that he's on the bench. As we see a change coming here. So it's Keon Rafael leaving. Johan Phillips, the youngster, coming on. Such a talent. Johan Phillips, still young. Still only 16. And every time we see him, we've got to mention the youngest ever scorer in the Cymru Prem. He was 15 when he scored against Colwyn Bay. He comes on here, 3-0 down. Just for a run out, you'd have thought, more than anything else. Strong tackle. Good tackle by Venables. Unsurprising that he's getting stuck in, but off they go again. The Saints. Brobble's enjoying himself this afternoon, trying to create again. He scored one. He's in the middle of everything. .20 to go. Williams from distance, looking for Smith. The Saints still building, still probing. Redmond, lovely move. Can they finish it off? Williams, touch, shoots. Good tackle.
Yeah, really good block. It's important to keep having that desire. Obviously, it's something that the manager will demand. Rhys Griffiths doesn't want to see his team fold. They're 3-0 behind, but they continue to work hard.
Davis, he's hit one. Leo Smith. As Owain mentioned earlier, that midfield has been so strong for the new Saints this afternoon. They're enjoying themselves now. Backs against the wall for Pen-y-bont. They don't want to concede more, because suddenly, after the split, there's going to be 3 games without a win. Of course, one of them is here, so that's not a surprise, but it just suddenly starts building up, and Rhys Griffiths might be slightly concerned about the rest of the games between now and the end of the season, because he knows there's a gap. As Oti tucks in, Oti again looking for another. Quick feet, and it's a corner.
Yeah, real good play, good intelligent football. Waiting for that gap once again. He just turns a little bit too easily. Really good touch just to get himself back on his right foot. You just see here, just a little clip one way, and yeah, it was a corner, wasn't it? It was a block. It wasn't. Not sure if he mishit it, but not sure if it was goal bound, but did enough. Real good play.
Brobble with the corner, lovely delivery as you'd expect, and that'll do. Sometimes nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned hoof now and again. Georgievski's after. He's done well, Georgievski, to be fair. Hasn't played much football recently. Missed 22 months. Gradually coming back, and Pen-y-bont suddenly bursting forward. Clayton Green, options in the middle. Venables is in there. Need to get it in. Johan Phillips, the sub, is on as well. They made some space here for Georgievski. Pen-y-bont trying to grab something from this game. Haven't threatened as much as they'd like. Oti challenging the defenders. Does he fancy himself, Ote, the top scorer in the league this season? No way through, loses out, smothers the danger.
Yeah, I think he was always going alone there. It was a clever run by Brobbo. Maybe made the run a little bit too soon, a little bit too central, meaning he didn't quite take enough for the defenders away from Ote's run. But the danger sign's always there. New Saints are really in the flow now, really enjoying themselves.
Wilson for the Saints, fancies a goal. Yeah, when you put this together with the recent run, 6 wins in a row before this one, 7 in a row now, it looks very ominous. I'm sure the next opponent's Carnarvon. Well, they might not be watching, they've got a big game themselves this afternoon. We'll have a look back. Oh, lovely again from Brobbo. What a chance, Danny Davis. Head in his hands, no wonder. What a miss.
Well, the first thing he should be doing is having a look and hoping that the linesman's flag is up. Oh, what a delivery once again. There's no offside, I'm sure. The run is perfect. And you just see here, if anything, does he think the defender's going to get ahead on it, so it surprises him at the last second? I don't know, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here. He knows it's a sitter. Ooh, just comes off his ankle, just higher than the ankle maybe. Poor contact, and he thinks, I could have had a couple today.
If his feet are as cold as mine, I will forgive him, that might explain it. But he's been running around for 74 minutes. Next week, big one in the Welsh Cup, the holders, Connors-Key in the capital against Caerhili. Great occasion for Caerhili. The Saints go in again, Clark on a sub. We've mentioned his goal contributions, he loves a goal. Eye for goal there as well. A huge day in the Welsh Cup next weekend. Caerhili have a bit of a dip in the league recently. Might be keeping it all back for Connors-Key in the Cup. Clark again for Ote. Scorer. Wilson blasted it in. Williams blasted it in. Bit of a lunge going on there. There's Chris Venables. Doesn't hold back, Mr. Venables, to be fair. We've got 15 to go. It's 3-0. And the New Saints go in 6 points clear as it stands here. Ote, the latest to leave. 11th for the season, top scorer now, Owen.
Yeah, and you just see it. He obviously has that knack of knowing where that ball's going to land, if you like. The New Saints have had that over the years, haven't they? You go back to Mike Wilde, Greg Draper, more recently McManus, Brad Young, and this man has stepped up this season. Absolutely just knew, had a good idea where that ball was going to go. In that 6-yard area, sniffing about for a goal, gets his 1 goal today. Probably would have been disappointed not to get more.
Zach Clark coming on, second appearance since joining from Carnarvon in January. 8 goals for the Covies this season. 2 of them were against the New Saints, so maybe that's why they signed him. Makes sense, I suppose. Scored against Pen-y-bont in that playoff final, which took Carnarvon to Europe. It makes sense. If someone scores a couple against you, just sign him.
Yeah, it's almost not fair, is it? He's a handful. Doesn't stop running the channels. And this is a challenge for him now. Obviously, there's the example of Sean Bradley, who came in from Carnarvon, the league's best player last year, came in the summer, and it just hasn't quite worked for him. You know, he scored plenty of goals early on. For one reason or another, maybe Harrison doesn't quite trust him or think that he fits into the team mould. It's Zach Clark's challenge now to fit into this TNS way of playing.
Well, he couldn't quite keep it on. We hear a lot of rumours around this league. There were rumours that Carnarvon are trying to get Sean Bradley back on loan. Obviously didn't happen. They had a few players from TNS on loan. They've had 3, to be fair. So maybe TNS thought that's enough. Pen-y-bont bursting forward. Johan Phillips, the youngster, 16 years old, Johan Phillips. such a talent, full of promise. Venables finding space. Chance from distance. Connor Roberts keeping that clean sheet. It was Ben Morgan, the new signing for Pen-y-bont. Roberts did well.
Yeah, good football by Pen-y-bont, really patient in attack. Didn't force the issue. A good run by Kane Owens down the left. He was ignored, but then the ball eventually falls to Venables, who just feeds it inside there. And a good save by Connor Roberts, who's been quiet all afternoon. And he's just there. Slight deflection as well. Really good save with his left hand.
Well, the more you see it, the more you appreciate that save from Connor Roberts, looking for another clean sheet. Would be his 6th of the season. Owen, lovely cross. Problems here for TNS. They dealt with it. Nipping in on the far post was Woody Wiss. And Smith nicked it, did so well. Georgievski. And he's landed on his foot as well. I feel sorry for Leo Smith there, to be totally honest. Pen-y-bont is playing on, but Smith's in a bit of trouble here.
Well, it was a good little battle. There was a foul on Leo Smith. It should have been a free kick for the New Saints. I'm not sure if the injury happened in contact or when Georgievski was then stepping away as he stepped on him. We just see here, I think now, well, not much in it maybe. Oh, just left his foot in there. Slightly uncomfortable position.
Well, I'm just watching. You've played the game. Did that look deliberate?
When you land,
you don't have to answer.
I'm always I'm always skeptical when somebody lands. I always think you have to land somewhere. Your foot has to go somewhere. When you put it in slow motion, it looks like a stamp, and it isn't always. But there, Georgievski's already down. He kind of knows that his foot is planted. He knows where and his foot was planted somewhere uncomfortable for Leo Smith. So I think he knew exactly what he was doing there.
It felt like I was asking the ex-pro, because someone who's been in the thick of it. We don't know. The truth is, we have no idea. But it just looked a little bit naughty, shall we say. Jasper Jones coming on. Lewis Way as well. Changes galore for Pen-y-bont. Watts is on as well. Watts is back from Goitre. He scored 14 goals. 14 goals in 17 games this season for Goitre. So Watts back at Pen-y-bont.
I think these subs also are preservation. You know, looking after players. This game is done. Let's get it right, unless there's an absolute miracle and something strange happens. This game is won. 3 points for the New Saints. So Rhys Griffiths has to be in a position now where he thinks, right, what's best for my team moving forward into the next couple of weeks?
More changes. Leo Smith has just gone off. The highlighter pen is busy at this point, by the way, as we wait to see the changes. Brobble coming off. Lovely free kick for Ryan Brobble. 7 league titles he's won. He's going for number 8.
I wonder how many free kicks he's got, Dull. There's one for you. If you've done your research, Dullan, you'll be able to tell me in a couple of minutes how many free kicks he's scored for TNS over the years. There's plenty of them. The quality he has, the way he plays, you almost expect he'll still be here in 10 years. He plays with his slippers on, cigar in, quality footballer at this level. Does it again today with a free kick.
So Rory Holden's come on. Louis Phillips as well. Now, Phillips has just joined from Newport City in the league in the south, the Cymru South. A couple of goals for them this season, 4 goals. Interesting signing in January by the New Saints, giving him a chance. Louis Smith. Well, he got in, lovely touch, decent pass. There was an absolute...
That was a bump. And Morgan knew what he was doing. I think he took Clark's line. I don't think the ref saw it. If we just have a look at this now. He knows Clark is making the run. He's trying to break the offside trap. This man knows, I am taking your line here. Have a little look at this. Runs in, bang. It's a little bit naughty, if I'm being completely honest, because sometimes the shoulder can go into the face.
Different height, size as well. It looks painful. Morgan, one of the new signings for Pen-y-bont. Flurry of substitutions as we are into the last 10 minutes here. doesn't agree, but it looked a bit blatant. And there's Zach Clark.
I think it's a naughty one. I think Zach Clark is probably asking the question now. I don't even think he's got a free kick. Right. Honestly, yeah, it's not as if... There's examples in the game where a defender can cleverly just, you know, have a little half step to the side and take up a line. Not only does he take the line there, he goes into the player, knowing full well. I know he's pleading his case there. He knew exactly what he was doing there.
Owen Jones next to me in commentary today. So much experience, I'm sure, talking from experience.
Just have a look here. Makes the run. You know, come on. That's not taking a line. That's directly coming into a place where your shoulder causes this damage. Clark knows as well. Strikers are not... They're not stupid. You can tell
from the reaction, usually, can't you?
Yeah. He's just asking the question, how have you missed that? It's a difficult one because there's plenty going on, obviously, and, you know, with a naked eye, it just looks as if he's run into the defender, if you like. Not the case.
How do you fix something like that as well?
There's going to be plenty of ice.
Yeah.
Maybe we go old school. We saw a wrestle in the first half, old school. Maybe it's going to be a bag of peas, though.
Looks painful. Now, who's getting booked here? Is Zach Clark going to get booked for his reaction? Well, we're just waiting for confirmation to see who's been booked. One of the coaches, we think, not Zach Clark. Don't add insult to injury.
Listen, we don't want to see managers, players arguing with officials and stuff. Have a look at this eyeball here, Dylan, and tell me there's not something to argue over in that instance. Come on.
Definitely sticking up for their own player there, the TNS coaching staff. Leaves a bad taste in the mouth right at the end. And I think they've used their subs. Well, they've used the substitution windows up, so it looks like the Saints will be down to 10 for the last few minutes. And Ben Morgan, a new name in the Pen-y-bont ranks, joining in January. Mark Little's returned as well, and Keane Watts, who's on. A couple of news players. Into the last 5 minutes, the new Saints coasting. And let's see how that incident affects the last few minutes now. Pen-y-bont in possession.
I'll tell you who wouldn't have taken that line down, Dole. Duncan Ferguson. He's not here today, is he?
No, he's not.
Seems to be in every game at the moment. We'd love to see him here.
Well, it was great to see him at Flint's ground recently, watching Connors Key, his son with Connors Key.
I like
Mark Schwarzer and Big Dunk.
Class. I did like the clip of him throwing his tee, though.
He was horrified at that tee.
You've got to give Duncan Ferguson a strong tee. Come on.
Well, we're covering Connors Key next weekend. Who knows? Maybe he'll pop up a Keira Ely. Warm welcome if he does. New Saints in possession. Danny Davis started it all with his header 10 minutes into the first half. Final few minutes now, it's done and dusted. More or less 10 minutes into the second half when OT hit the second. Robles free kick after 63 minutes certainly finished it all off. 3-0. That's how it stays, and they're down to 10 now after losing up their substitution windows. But it's comfortable for the new Saints. A few brief moments for Pen-y-bont, who've done so well to challenge them this season. But are they running out of steam at a crucial time of the season? That's the worry for Pen-y-bont at the minute. Lots of injuries and all the effort. They've got quite a few weeks coming up. Not so many games now. Maybe they can regroup and go again to make sure they grab that second spot. feel they deserve that second spot after the season they've had, but the Saints are off again. Clark, the substitute, dancing through. Ben Clark! Lovely finish to finish it off in style. It's 4-0. 7 wins in a row for the new Saints. They're flying up the league at the minute. 4-0 here against Pen-y-bont.
Yeah, really sloppy. A sloppy pass. We just see here on the right-hand side, in behind, and Clark thinks, thank you very much, into the box. As soon as he gets close, he knows he's got the defender on toast. Twists Morgan, inside out, thinks he's going one way, goes the other way, see you later, and then can you keep your head? Absolutely. Goes with the near post with his left foot, just guides it in, real nice. Little gap there, left behind by Lewis, who maybe thinks he's going to go across him, and you just see here, with the left foot, really nice finish by Clark. We've just spoken about the goals he scores, though. Really effective with those intelligent runs in behind. Brilliant goal for this man.
It nearly sums it up when you've got Ben Clark coming off the bench. Just shows the strength the new Saints have got. It's 4-0, it's a thumping at the minute. The team that have challenged the new Saints this season are suffering at Park Hall. They've beaten them once at Pen-y-bont. It gave them a massive scare here back in November. Went 2-0 up, but then lost 3-2. But today, it's not even close. Maybe those injuries have just piled up. One game too many for Pen-y-bont. They've had a bit of a blip. They lost to Met, they drew against Salford West, and coming here, it was always going to be difficult.
The thing is, though, even with their strongest team, this is always going to be a very difficult game. But to have a real, genuine chance at causing a shock, you need all your boys out there.
Well, Wilson's off now. Their wish does enough. They're really going for it in these final few seconds.
Yeah, positive play once again. Really good strike, actually, and a really good save by Lewis, who's just maybe thinking for a split second, has he got down early enough? Is this past him in a flash? Good save.
Mentioned Man City a few times. They're winning at Leyton Orient. 2-1 Man City. De Bruyne with the second. They were behind at Leyton Orient. Late corner. Danny Davis with the first goal. They've still got possession here. Williams into the middle. Lovely clipped cross. Couldn't end it. We're showing Danny Davis because they're about to announce this man of the match, chosen by Malcolm Allen. Does Owain Jones agree?
Well, I think he's had a decent game. I'm never going to agree with Malcolm Allen publicly. Absolutely not. Hey, there's been some good performances. Probably Wilson has been the pick of the bunch. Ryan Broadwell, perhaps. Not even sure if Danny Davis would have made my top 5 today. I've given him plenty of man of the matches over the years, in fairness, but hey, you could have picked almost anybody, certainly from an attacking standpoint, for the new Saints today.
There was a time a few years ago, I swear Malcolm Allen always picked the defensive midfielder as man of the match. It was glorious. Somebody could score a hat-trick and he'd just go for the defensive midfielder. They're off again. Now they're interesting, seeing the new Saints going for it here, because we're seeing Louis Phillips, the new signing, who's come from the Cymru South. He's looked very lively since coming on the sub, to be fair. Started on the left, he's on the right by now. And Pen-y-bont just want to hear that final whistle and head back down south, lick their wounds and go again. As we've said all along, they've had such a good season, so many positives, but they're suffering this afternoon. And a bit of pressure here. They want to concede, the new Saints. That's the standards that they set. But interestingly, now, after today, Pen-y-bont, well, they won't be playing for a few weeks. 22nd of February, next game. And then there's another gap to the 8th of March. So it could be a crucial period for them, just to try and get some bodies back, sort out the injuries, just go again.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how severe and how long-term some of the injuries are, but yeah, it gives exactly that, Dylan. Gives you a chance to get 1 or 2 back in the squad.
Well, there we go. Final whistle. Disappointing afternoon for Rhys Griffiths and Pen-y-bont. But the new Saints are flying, going from strength to strength. 7 wins in a row, 6 points clear at the top of the table with a game in hand. It's ominous. They're closing in on another title. Will it be another treble? Welsh Cup next weekend, the quarter-finals, final of the League Cup to come before the end of the month. Dominant performance by the new Saints. Danny Davis, Remy Ote, Ryan Brobble, and that man Ben Clark finishing it off. Fabulous 4 for the champions, new Saints. And there we have it, 4-0. Remy Ote getting his length for the season. He's now the top scorer in the Cymru Prem. Joined in the summer. Ote from Walsall. 15 in all comps as well. With Declan McManus leaving, Brad Young last summer. They found some goals. Leo Smith playing further forwards. I've seen Chris Sargent having a word with Morgan following that incident. So there we are, it's 4-0 for the Saints. Some reaction coming up.
Well, Danny, congratulations on the win. That feels like a big, big win for TNS that sent a clear message out to Pen-y-bont and the rest of the league.
Yeah, we knew it was a massive game coming into it. Obviously, it's still tight at the top, and they beat us last game. So I think that added a little incentive there. And yeah, we knew how big the game was, so I thought we were excellent, yeah.
It's a bit of a cliche, but it did feel like the kind of win, the kind of game where that first goal was always going to be really important. How pleasing was it for you to get that goal, especially within 10, 11 minutes?
Yeah, we spoke about that at half-time. I mean, before the game, sorry. We've conceded first in a lot of the games, and we knew we couldn't do that today.
You can see it now, actually, if you want to talk us through it. Good
I
header.
thought it was hitting the bar and it's just dipped in at the last second, luckily. So, yeah, we spoke about how important the first goal is. We've conceded first on a few occasions this season, and Pen-y-bont would get their tails up and they'd be, hard to come back from that. So we knew how important that was.
Pen-y-bont, it's no secret, they've really challenged you this season as well. How important was it that, like I said, you got that strong start, but that you got the win today, Danny?
Yeah, credit to Pen-y-bont. They've pushed us all the way, and we've had to be at it. Obviously, we didn't start the first half of the season like we would have wanted, and they've been right on our tails, so credit to them for that. They've been good. But now I think we all know that it's our time to kick on now and make that statement, and title should stay here, hopefully.
Well, Danny, well done on the win, and thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
OK, felly ni wedi cael 2 gêm hyd yn hyn penwythnos yma yn y 6 isaf y Flint yn fuddugol o 2 gol i ddim yn erbyn Aberystwyth, a wedyn ni fan hyn. Y Seinti Newydd yn ennill 4 gol i ddim yn erbyn Pen-y-bont. 2 gêm arall i ddod yn y 6 uchaf, Caernarfon yn erbyn Hwlffordd a Met Caerdydd yn erbyn y Bala. Well, Chris, thanks for joining us. That felt like an efficient win and an important win for TNS.
Yeah, look, no disrespect to Pen-y-bont. They've been brilliant all season, but it's a really dominant performance, and yeah, really happy with it.
4 goals, and 4 goals of the highest standard as well. One player I did want to highlight, Adam Wilson, created the first 2, got you the free kick as well for the 3rd. Just a note on his performance today. Yeah,
look, he was exceptional, and he was the same last week. Adam's come back to he's been a little bit unlucky at Bradford, and he's come back to enjoy his football. So, and he certainly seems to be doing that. That's where we want him, final third, doing his bits, and yeah, confidence is high with him now as well. So. He's got 8 games left, and he's got to carry on this run of form now.
I won't ask you about the other 3 goals, otherwise we'll be stood here all afternoon. But I've just asked Danny the same question. Pen-y-bont have really pushed you this season. How important was it to, I guess, send them a clear message this afternoon?
Yeah, it is. But look, I think what's been maybe missed a little bit this season is, there's been a lot of talk about us and the things we're not doing. I think there's been a little bit of publicity kind of missed for all the teams in the Welsh Premier League, and you know, the job some of these coaches are doing and the managers are doing early on the season. A lot of teams smelt blood where they'd come and roll over, and fair play to them all. They've given us a real problem this season. So I think that's been missed a little bit of credit for all the teams that have come and beat us in a difficult time. But like I mentioned earlier on, it's really important for us now to be having 4 days of prep to come into these games and you see what the result is.
Chris, appreciate your time. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you.
Felly dyma ni y sefyllfa o ran y tabl. Y Seintiau Newydd yn symud 7 pwynt yn glir o Pen-y-bont. Gêm fawr i ddod, Hwlffordd yn teithio lan i Gaernarfon. Bydden nhw'n symud o fewn 4 pwynt o dîm Rhys Griffiths os maen nhw'n llwyddo i ennill heddi. A mae rheolwr Pen-y-bont Rhys yn cadw cwmni i fi nawr. Rhys, I appreciate the last thing you probably want to do is come and do this interview, but what was missing for Pen-y-bont today? What went wrong from your perspective?
Oh, I just got to give them credit, really. I just thought they were very good. You can't really complain when you set up defensively and then you struggle to impact the final third. And obviously they took their chances. The first 2 goals really poor from our perspective. And then it gives you an uphill task. And obviously then they're hitting you on the counter as well when you're trying to push forward a little bit. But yeah, I thought they were far better than us today.
You highlighted in your pre-match interview that Pen-y-bont, you've always started really strongly against TNS. That didn't quite happen today. So just from a psychological point of view, how difficult was it for you to get a grasp on the game?
Yeah, I think that the goal we conceded, I think a good start is 0-0. After, I don't know when the goal went in, but if we get to half-time 0-0, that's a good start. But we've conceded a really poor goal. And then second half, it was about trying to stay in the game for the first 20 minutes and then have a go late on. I think if we're having a go and it's still 1-0, they're a bit more nervy. But at 2-0, they're comfortable, aren't they? So the second goal was poor as well from our perspective, so it was really difficult. But it is what it is. Sometimes, like when we beat them at our place, I was full of it, wasn't I? And I've got to take a bit of humble pie today.
Looking ahead, Rhys, TNS are 7 points clear of you. How do you view the landscape of the table at the moment? A big game to come, Caernarfon against Haverfordwest. A win for Haverfordwest would take them within 4 points of you guys. Is it fair to say you've got a big few weeks coming up?
Yeah, I think for us, it's always been about hanging on to second. I suppose when we were 2-0 up here earlier on in the season, that was the only time I've actually thought, hang on, we could actually challenge the title here. And then that was quickly taken away from me. So, yeah, I think it's always been about second for us. I think if we achieve second, that's like winning a league, and Haverfordwest are going to be coming on strong. I think, I'll be honest as well, I'm not blaming Caernarfon or TNS. I think there's an integrity issue in the league at the moment. TNS loaning players to other teams in the top 6 who can't play against TNS, but they can play against everyone else. So, but they're going to win the league regardless of that. And what we've got to do now is hang on to second and come back strong.
Rhys, diolch, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Wel, dyna ni am Brynhawn me, ond cofiwch gêm fyw i ddod ar S4C Brynhawn fory, ble fydd tlws cynta'r tymor yn cael ei ennill. Menywod Abertawe yn erbyn menywod y Seintiau Newydd yn fyw ar S4C am gwarter wedi 5. Wel, dyna ni buddugoliaeth enfawr i'r Seintiau Newydd fan hyn yn wrtho fi a'r criw i gyd. Diolch am eich cwmni chi pnawn me. Ta-ta.